everybody? What up, Brainiacs? Welcome to the first edition of March Metal Madness 2017. Yo.
017.
017.
017.
Fucking, this is the Slipknot Retrospective. And if you guys know us for the previous March Metal Madness, it's always sporadic and we fucking are scrambling to figure out what we're gonna do. But today we have me, obviously, Zack and Josh as normal. Then we got David again. And a very fucking special guest on Skype. I hope you guys can hear him. This is Kevin Choate from the Mysterious Boom podcast and the Fire Pit TV. What is all that?
Yeah, Fire Pit podcast. Fire Pit TV.
Can't record?
Yee, that's us.
You don't have your set record?
Well, he's recording and he's going to send me the file.
Yeah, so the people on YouTube will hopefully be able to see me too.
Yeah. Because
that little tiny
Then
picture
they'll
in the
also
corner
see your
of it.
face too.
Hopefully not, because
It's gonna be that little tiny thing.
I'll find a way to crop it out. I'll probably like put a picture over me.
No, if he sends you his copy, yours it's going to be different. He can set his to look different.
No, okay. We'll figure it out.
It'll be
So,
alright. He knows
alright. Now, Kevin, this is what we normally
I'm just going to
do.
send you a totally different video, and you can just put that over it. Like me doing like a workout or something. Yoga.
These are called cock push-ups.
Yeah.
Remember, you gotta push-ups, Kyle.
Alright, so... you can only do one.
That's all you need to ever do. That's all you got to do is just one.
You gotta turn off the lasers with your dick.
Deactivated lasers with our dicks.
Yeah, it's because that's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, I just watched it
Oh, the
last
Tenacious
night.
D?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Come on, Helmet Head.
Now, the movie or the show?
Movie.
Okay, I mean, I fucking love the goddamn movie. Okay,
The
you
show
ever
was
give
good
me a
too.
power
slide.
Yeah, I love the fucking show, too. You ever watch the Tenacious D movie, man?
Oh yeah. I came home one night. I like the movie. I came home one night and the show was on a marathon, and I had to like wake up early as hell the next day. But I think I like stayed up. I ended up only sleeping like 2 hours because I watched the whole show that night.
Hell yeah.
And but yeah, no, those guys are funny as hell, dude.
Hell yeah. So what we normally do, man, is we will go around the circle and kind of
Jerk
talk
each other
about...
off.
No, that's your brother.
Language.
That's Matt.
Wait, back
Excuse
up.
me while I move over this
Jerk
way.
off part.
That's why they drink beer.
That's
so they
called
don't
a beef
have to fill it.
jerk. That's called a beef jerky part. That's y'all's brother.
But we're going to talk about how we were introduced to Slipknot and how we heard of them and shit. So we're going to start with you, since this is your very first time on Speaker Brains, dude.
Oh yeah. Thanks for having me on, by the way, guys. Oh yeah, hey to everybody.
Hell yeah.
So the first time I heard about Slipknot, I was young. Like I was telling you earlier, I have like some history with Slipknot just because they were the first. I give them credit for being like the first heavy metal band that I found about when I was a kid. Because I like grew up listening to like Ozzy and Poison and like hair metal that my mom listened to and stuff.
Rock 103.
And Metallica and stuff. Like I'm sure a lot of people did. And then, we had a babysitter. I was probably like 10 or 11 at the time, and I got two younger siblings. And so we had a babysitter, and she had a little brother who was like 16 that lived down the block. And so that guy, me and him were friends, and he showed me like pro wrestling and metal and shit like this. So he showed me Slipknot and Manson and Rob Zombie and all these like 90s heavy, like 95, 96 era metal bands, And for a while, we were like really big into that. But yeah, Slipknot was like the crazy one and I found out about ICP at the same time too. And I think they were both crazy because ICP was clowns and Slipknot all wore masks.
Yeah.
They also have a clown.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, the clown. Yeah. I didn't know until today that guy was like a mastermind in the band too. I didn't know that he was one of the founding
He's
members.
on the drum. That's all he does.
He's the only one left. The only founding member left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
The rest of them went. Paul
But just
died.
reading about
It
the
was
history
him
of the
and
band.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Paul. Him and Paul, and then there was Still.
Not even Corey Taylor?
Corey Taylor was not the
original.
original.
No, he
You
wasn't
not-
original.
There's a pre-album that we're not gonna go over.
Well,
because
yeah,
of
Yeah,
that
because
band.
it's like $700.
But that
Well,
actually that
if I
had
don't wanna touch
unofficial
on
Slipknot,
that,
whatever he called himself on there at that time. It was Karanavin or something. I can't remember the fucking dude's name.
Yeah.
But
If y'all don't want to, so y'all aren't counting Make, Feed, Kill, Repeat?
Well, like, I would like to, but I've never heard it. But
Yeah.
It's hard.
now,
it has like a good song
It's on YouTube,
out of
dog.
7. So
I'm going to have to check it out
Yeah,
on
we
YouTube.
should have prepared a little
Yeah.
better.
It's
it's
on
very
YouTube.
it's funky. It's like
I remember
I
that.
remember it was like
I remember that.
I remember it a little bit.
Make
But
Feed Kill Repeat, because that was around the time, like, my buddy had that demo. He had, like, a burned CD of Make Feed Kill Repeat. And so we had listened to that, but it was by the time their self-titled already came out. But he still jammed Make Feed Kill Repeat, and I really liked that shit. And, like,
they do
I'm
now.
just gonna have to rip it off YouTube.
They sound
It
nothing
was,
like they did.
it wasn't all good, but it was like, it's definitely totally different. But like listening to that album and just the fact that it is some of the same guys, like that's a really weird album to have recorded in the first place. That album's got a lot of weird shit on it.
Sean, yeah, Clown. He was like the big. He wrote a lot of that. The first out, the Make Feud Kill Repeat, and he was in a band, a funk metal band.
Right.
I can't remember the name of the band. It was like something I don't remember. But he was in a funk metal band, so that's pretty much what his influence. So a lot of it, a couple songs that you hear have that slap bass sound. They're like, and then it just goes into. I mean, it's real heavy at parts, and then you hear the.
But it's a jazz metal album, dude.
Dude,
it's like
it's
a jazz metal.
It's kind of all right.
Dude, that's probably like their best album,
No,
man.
it's not. But
Hey, you know me.
It's not, because the guy's vocals don't stand up to Corey's, in my opinion. They're cool. But it sounds real cheesy. It sounds like 90s, like early 90s. I'm sounding like a dick right now, but like, you know what I mean? It's not the Slipknot everybody knows and loves. It's like
Stone Sour has a better singer than Slipknot.
that's a good name.
Oh, dude.
So, but no, we rode
get to
when
that.
I was a kid. We rode the Slipknot train for a long time, and we liked that shit all the way up through Iowa. I was probably still listening to it, and I watched the DVDs, and I never got to see them live. I miss them every time they come, but it is something, like I was telling them earlier, like the stuff that came out after, I know about, like Psychosocial and the other albums, but just because I listen to Slipknot on shuffle every once in a while, and so I don't know what albums the stuff's off of. Until the last few days, I've gotten to see how the albums are laid out. But for the most part, I've just listened to stuff on shuffle, and like it's kind of background music until I hear the ones that I recognize, you know. And it's like I don't know, like to me, like I really like that song "Everything Ends" and like "People Equal Shit," and there's like they have a bunch of great songs, but they have a lot of songs that I was listening to in the past few days that I couldn't connect with too. Some of the ones where he sounds like a whiny little bitch, dude.
Everything
I'm
off
sorry,
the
but
Subliminal Verses.
that's the ones that I can't connect with.
That's the Subliminal Verses.
He
one,
sounds
right?
like a little bitch on all this
Dude,
stuff.
he gets worse after that Subliminal Verses, man.
It gets much worse.
Like,
No.
It sounds like
I
Stone
liked All
Sour.
Hope Is Gone. He got better, I thought.
what?
from Subliminal Verses.
What?
All right. Now, when I got into Slipknot,
Yeah, so here's
I
Zach.
remember
Zach, talk about Slipknot.
Objection!
Objection! Sustained.
Coming to the worst corn fan ever, but not the worst Slipknot. Fuck you!
Worst Cornette Slipknot fan now.
There was, damn, David. You're gonna make us lose subscribers.
I'm gonna
bro.
explain to you when we get to, alright, the reasons behind Subliminal Verses.
all right, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
There was
Zach-
a magazine
Alright,
back
my
in the day.
three is
The
System of a
magazine
Down,
was called
Korn, and Slipknot.
CMJ.
CMJ.
And I can't remember if this was one that Derek stole.
Here's one that I bought.
Okay, you bought it. It had a Slipknot song on it. It was Wait and Bleed or Spit It Out.
Yeah, it was both.
It was both.
I believe
And
so.
I remember listening to those and getting into it because it
I
was
love
like
Wait and Bleed.
very fucking different than a lot of the stuff that we were listening to at that time. This was '99 when we heard this, and I don't remember hearing anything else until we started hanging around Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
When Iowa come out, I remember watching the video on MTV and being like, "Yeah, this is badass." It was Left Behind. The video for Left Behind. I was like, that is fucking awesome right there. Nick come over and he had the CD and I was like, what? That's cool. I didn't know it was out yet. And then I remember getting really big into it when we were like teenagers.
You guys first met.
Hanging out with Scott and all that.
Hanging out with Scott and David and Josh.
Scott, God, that guy.
Yeah, that fucking
Then,
guy.
then
Nazi
I
guy.
actually picked the first one up at a
He was a fucking Nazi.
yeah, he was.
He was.
Nazi
He
him.
was a skinhead.
I picked this one up at
Well, he
a
had long
local
blonde
CD
hair, didn't he?
store we used to go
Didn't
to
he
all
was
the
here
time.
like right here.
And it already had these chew marks on it.
Yeah, man, it looks like a cat was chewing on the corner of this, man.
But
I don't care. No matter where you go to buy that CD,
Check
you
this
can buy
out.
it new.
Check
It
this
looks
out. I
like
don't know if you can. Where's my damn webcam?
Yeah, I can see.
There you go. Look at that. What
Oh,
the fuck?
jeez. He just bought that?
He bought that many years ago.
Dude, that
Oh,
was like
okay.
2004 when
You
I
sure it
bought
wasn't?
that.
Was that when you guys lived at the Somerville Road?
Yeah, on Somerville.
Sure,
Yeah.
it's not
the
cockroach
basement
net?
house.
Yeah, I'm sure it was like that when I
You've
bought
had
it.
that since then?
Yeah.
I've got a lot of shit since then.
Dude, we've got CDs we've had for like 20 years.
I have a
Yeah.
shitload of CDs, but I never kept the cases because when I was younger, I used to thought it was really cool to take all the booklets out and
And
put
put
them
them
on
like
the
a
wall.
poster.
Yeah.
Like as a
That's the reason
poster
all
thing.
mine don't
Like
have
my
nothing.
whole wall, one of my walls was just covered in like heavy
But
metal.
do you regret it now?
Yes.
Yes, as an adult and a person who now buys the CDs, because I was, that was when LimeWire was coming out.
Yeah.
Right
you would
then, so
download
I mean, it was just like cheap, still.
Call me an
Napster,
asshole, but I
Napster.
kind of
It
remember
took 12 hours to download 4 songs.
when I realized that I could just stream music, I like stopped caring about all my CDs altogether. I was just like,
Dude, like I kind of went through that phase for a little bit, but I still would buy CDs. But then, like probably in the past, maybe
Half of my burn
13
for you.
years, it's been like, you know what? No burned CDs, no downloading, straight up buy the physical copy.
I pay for streaming music, but I don't download or torrent anything. I'm just saying, like now you can do Spotify, Amazon Music, like all these.
Wow.
Different
That was me. I was the one that had it.
Title.
Damn, I don't need anything. I just have it all right here.
Yeah, man.
There's no point in stealing anymore. You can pay $10 a month.
We got
So-
jobs.
Yeah. We have
So
jobs.
my,
We want to go
uh,
to jail.
So my
Money,
introduction to
lose money.
Slipknot was very much like Zack's. That CMJ CD, that magazine, they would always come with a fucking compilation disc with like lots of cool shit. But yeah,
Revolver
Slipknot was on
magazine's
there,
awesome.
and I think it was only Spit It Out. I think it was only that song because they wouldn't have 2 songs from the same band. So you're right, it was Spit It Out.
See, I wanted to say it was Wait and Bleed, but I really don't think it was.
Yeah, because when I was listening to this first album today,
Spit It Out was
And,
like,
yeah,
I think
Spit
I think
It Out.
Spit It Out was the first single off of that album.
Was
They
it
had the
really?
video for Spit It Out before they had the video for Wait and Bleed for sure.
Okay,
But
sweet.
check this out. I remember listening to this when I first got it. I was dating Karen, and I was listening to it, and the song Liberate. Liberate comes on, and she got so fucking aggravated, she turns it off and says, I just can't stand when I hear repeated lyrics over and over. And I'm like, you listen to rap.
That's all that is to repeat.
Yeah, but I remember when we were hanging out with Scott, and Liberate would come on, he's like, Liberate!
My man ass.
No, bananas.
Liberate bananas.
That's what it sounds like, though.
Bananas.
It's like,
Dude.
liberate bananas!
Dude, I always thought it
My
sounded like,
madness. And I was like, oh.
I always thought it sounded like liberate my man ass.
I always thought it was liberate my bananas, though, also. Like,
Yeah, it
when you
sounds like
finally
bananas.
catch my madness in, like, the third, like, area of it, and you're like, the third time he says it, and you're like, oh, that's what he's saying.
Liberate
Like,
my man ass.
I was listening to that song at the gym yesterday morning,
Little
right?
Batman.
And I still heard bananas, but I knew it was my madness. But I was
Yeah.
just like, it still sounds like
Because
bananas.
this week was the first time I've listened to any Slipknot in God knows how long.
Shit.
And when that song came on, I was like, oh, I remember Liberate Bananas.
Damn. So I forgot about the banana shit, but I always thought my man ass. So I guess let's just jump into it. Or well, when did you first hear Slipknot, Josh?
Josh Snee.
When they came out, 1999.
Yeah, he-
All right, we're
When
down
that
with
came
that.
out, I heard it. I had it. I got it.
Josh is the
I
one guy
ordered
that gets
thing
up
and
with a
got it.
band that actually come when they come out.
Okay,
Half of us
remember-
don't even get into it till later.
My number 1 favorite band is System of a Down. Number 2, Korn. Number 3, Slipknot.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So every album
If
that
we
ever
could be
came
more
out,
new
I
metal than
always
that.
bought.
I was gonna say props on staying true, dude. That's crazy. I mean, there's a lot of music. I love new metal, but like for you to stay like, because those bands have all pissed me off.
Oh yeah, they
I
have.
used to be a fan of them, dude. But you stick by them.
System of a Down is the only
Yeah.
one that's never. That's where
Yeah,
you
System
number
of a
1.
Down has always been
Never been
consistent.
No, systems never pissed me off. Those guys are always badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, Slipknot they got a little shitty after Iowa. They started going downhill, and
We'll get to that.
they got better. That last one, I like it. I know.
All right. So what about you, David? How did you get into Slipknot?
I picked up Iowa first. That was when I first started getting into
It's not a
it.
bad one to start with.
I started
Good
it out
album.
with Iowa, and I mean to this day,
Well,
Iowa's
People
my
Equal
favorite
Shit.
album.
It's a badass song.
Slipknot's one of my favorite bands. Like I don't know where they'd be. They're in my top 5 though. Even as much as I dislike a certain album of certain points, I will always, Slipknot's one of those bands you can always go back to though. Like no matter what, even how bad their songs are, they didn't do Korn.
First album.
Yeah, they didn't get as
They didn't
shitty
deal
as
with
Korn,
Korn, dude.
dude.
I
The
Like,
first album has like this groove to it.
The first album,
You
and then
can
you have
still-
that.
it holds
They
up
got
today.
heavy
You
as
still
fuck.
listen to it.
They lost themselves in the third album. They're trying to come back in the fourth, and then the fifth album.
they
came
were
out and
not
just-
trying to come back in the fourth.
You look.
No, the band was.
They did
Corey
try to come
Taylor
back.
wasn't.
Yeah, Corey Taylor
It
was
was
still,
Slipknot featuring Corey Taylor from
Pretty
Stone
much.
Sour.
Yeah.
but we'll get to that. as the catchphrase.
Words will be had, sir.
But no, I got into Iowa, and I still have my first Iowa album from high school. It's in my car. And I also had a second one because that one kind of got scratched up a little bit where it skipped a few songs.
Yeah.
So I got a second one that I found at like some flea market or garage sale or whatever for like $2. And I was like, fuck it. I mean, I already have it.
Yeah, sweet.
And then, like I said, then I went back to the first album. And, you know, I stayed with them ever since. But, I mean, yeah, they were being my top 5 favorite bands.
Wow.
The thing with those guys is like people can be mad all they want about like whatever songs they put out, like all these like because the band has like a lot of positive reviews about like some of the music they've put out, but like the idea of Slipknot is like I said, like tying them to ICP or like comparing them to ICP. It's like the show and the experience of like going and seeing, or like the idea that this band, they said they're all numbered like 0 through 8 because they're a product that's like this big statement they're making against the music industry or whatever. But you know, it's like that. It's a what's the word? It's like a spectacle. You know what I'm saying? That's what the intrigue on a band like this is. And they're talented as shit. You know, the guys are shredders and stuff.
Yeah, true that.
Joate was one of the best drummers in my eyes for like my whole life.
Till they sent him this the singing telegram. You're fired.
See, man,
I mean, really, that's what happened. Is I just stopped. I forgot about Slipknot for a while, but the guy always was the shit.
He was. It
So-
was just drugs that did him in.
So let's dive into Slipknot's first official release, Slipknot. You gotta love this album cover, man.
It's like a family portrait.
Yeah, it's like a demented family portrait taken in a insane asylum. Dude, the masks is what really drew me to this band when I was a kid.
You know what drew me to this band?
Mash-
Mushroom Head.
Mushroom Head.
I actually heard Mushroom Head before.
Because
Slipknot,
Mushroom Head was
too.
before them, and then like
Head.
these guys look like Mushroom Head, and this is just much. It's
They
Hell
got
yeah.
much bigger.
so much badass.
Nobody knows.
I did get to see
anymore, though,
Mushroom
but
Head
They still
at
come out with
Juggalo
albums.
Weekend last
They
year.
released one like 2 years ago.
What's up?
I got to see Mushroom Head at Juggalo Weekend last year, and that was one of the sickest concerts I've ever
They
been to. Sure.
played with
Yeah.
ICP. Yeah, they do.
That's
They'll
fucking
open for
rad.
ICP and things. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rad. Who else was at the Juggalo weekend?
Those guys, King 810, they said that they went on tour with Slipknot when I was reading about them before.
Love King
They're like
810.
this sick ass metal band from
This
Flint.
has been run on a CD
Damn.
player.
Oh yeah.
And then, so it was King
That shit
810,
was in the CD
Mushroom
player
Head,
when back in the day when they put them up on-
Twisted made a
on your
surprise
bed,
appearance
on your-
at that, and then
Really?
of course, you know, yeah,
players on them. You're just like,
that was before the beef. That was not
Yeah.
this year, but the year before. you know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
like,
The year we
Okay.
That
went
was
for
cool
the
as shit.
the year we
Yeah,
went for the
like,
30-day challenge.
outdated.
No, this year Twisted not at the Juggalo Weekend.
Yeah, I don't think Twisted would ever be cool with like the Juggalos anymore right now. At this point, that
They already
shit
had
is
pre-verses for
done.
all their.
I like Twisted better than
Falling
ICP though.
Like,
They already
I
had
don't know,
planned out
man.
long
That
before
shit
they
is
started Subliminal
I
done.
love how is everybody here Juggalos right
What is
now?
this one?
No.
Let me.
No. I like a few albums they've come out with, like here and there, and it was hit and miss with me.
Like
I never
Catch Your Throat,
would
Fuck
claim
the
to be a
Wound.
juggalo.
Like,
whatsoever.
we all like ICP, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, me and Josh are probably the bigger ICP fans.
Oh,
out
I
of
love
all of us.
ICP, man. It's fucking
Oh,
hilarious.
No,
That was Disaster Piece. That song.
they haven't made a good album.
Yeah,
in
I'm
like
sorry
10
I
years,
keep
so-
bringing ICP up. It's just because, like I said, like I did associate it because I found out about Slipknot and ICP at the same time.
Hey, that's
and
totally
just because
cool.
that's how we met was through ICP, talking
Yeah.
about ICP and stuff
Well, that's when I
too.
started listening to ICPs back when I was listening to Slipknot.
Mhm.
I like all the bands that got at the time. Slipknot, Limp Bizkit. I like
Mhm.
the '90s new metal. You had to have the all. You know, you got yin and yangs. You got different types. Remember, I just ordered Gold Cobra.
Hey, chocolate.
Oh, you
chip
did?
Yeah,
I
it should
like
be
that
here
album,
soon.
just
So
saying.
we'll have
So-
it next
Hot dog
weekend.
flavored water.
Oh shit.
I like that song.
We're about to start talking about the albums, but like real quick, do you guys think that
I
Slipknot's
have like 3 Limp Bizkit
do you think they're a rap metal band?
and
Because
they're
were
all
talking
from
rap a
90s,
second
or
ago.
near 90s.
So I wouldn't say
Slipknot
Slipknot is part of the rap metal. They're more of they're part. I would say they're closer to the new metal as far as like the riffage.
I wouldn't even really consider.
I
them
wouldn't
new
know.
metal.
I mean, after listening
Well, I
to
mean,
them, I'm
yeah.
like, why was this even put into new metal? There are
Yeah,
bands that
It's
do the
weird.
same
dude. Oh, well,
thing.
here's the thing.
There's
Here's the
death
thing,
metal.
dude.
They say
It's
that
thrash
new metal
metal.
happened
Yeah.
at the same time Slipknot happened. They say they're not new metal, but that
Yeah,
new metal
well,
happened
it's
at the
kinda
same
true.
time they
They-
came
They
out.
do have things. Remember, they have all
Here's
this.
the way I look at
Corn's
it.
fault.
The sound effects, like they use turntable
Jamie
sounds,
Corn.
sound effects, like that laser beam.
Linkin Park, you know, they were doing that. All
Linkin
that,
Park
yeah.
didn't come out
Here's
till
the
after
thing.
that.
To me,
the
like
music was different from what they were
Slipknot, Korn,
It's just
and
mad.
I would even say Limp Bizkit. Like those bands came out before there was a specific genre for that.
Most people
shit.
call it alternative.
Yeah, like
It's called
when
alternative
first,
on the radio.
when it was just like those three
they
bands,
had to
that's
find a
just
way to put it on
alt
the radio.
metal, you know. But
It's
then
alt, but it's really
after they got big, there was a plethora of copycat bands, and that's when they all got lumped in that new metal.
Crazy
So
Town.
I couldn't
Oh,
call
Like, these are the
Korn-
founders.
Yeah, they're like the founders.
I
like,
think-
they're-
Zack.
I think there's rap influence and all that shit.
There
though.
is,
Like, new
because
metal
yeah.
has heavy rap influence, right?
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Because like Corey raps and
Corey
Mudvayne,
Taylor's a better
they
rapper
rapped
than
at the
Kanye
beginning,
West.
like-
That's all.
I know, 50%.
Corey rapped though, like the way that he did his stanzas in a lot of songs, it's like he's just rapping. He's not singing.
Those first two albums are very hip.
That's all
His
yours
lyrics
are
are
like
very fast.
Slipknot me.
Yeah, like he's got a hip hop flow, definitely, but he doesn't rap as much as like you can say, all right,
Not like rap culture, but
yeah, like it's like there's
he
a
screams and kind of he has a flow to his vocals.
yeah, like there's a hip hop flow to his style,
but it's not hip hop.
It's not like a Fred Durst rap.
like what is it? It's in Spit It Out. It's
Spit
like
It Out. Yeah, that's very
yeah,
fast.
in
definitely.
Spit It Out. It's like that sounds like a freaking rap song.
Definitely
Like,
spit it out.
So us white guys like, yeah, we listen to hip hop. It's
They
our
had a
hip hop.
Yeah, yo.
They had a
Yeah,
song,
like yeah, I like rap. I listen to
Josh
Slipknot.
might know. They had a song that
But dude, this album to me is fucking awesome.
It is
man.
like
Yeah.
amazing.
I hate that like I just now actually listened to this band because I'm sure that anybody could probably go on many past videos we've done, and I've probably said some shit like,
fucking
"Man,
hate Slipknot.
Yeah,
I've
like-
heard it a million times in the last 10 years. Like, fuck Slipknot. I like Primus.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get all the clips of that happening.
Yeah, if you go back 5 years from his, go back 5 years from. On
I'd be
his
the only
Monster
one
in
that's
the
consistent.
studio.
Yeah.
I like
There's a few
Slipknot,
little
Korn, and
mentions
System
of
of
how
a
much
Down.
he hates Slipknot. Or
yeah,
just
I'm
like,
sure on
And then
many
as he got
videos
older-
before, dude,
as he got older, he realized that his friends like Slipknot more,
and I'm
and he
like,
was like, I kind of dig him. We need to start this conversation over.
I guess I could be, listening to some of the stuff my friends listen to.
I envy that you guys all seem to have like the same musical taste because me and my friends do nothing but fight about it.
No, we don't.
we do, but then we don't. Like
There's a cutoff.
Discuss. Like, he's more. These two like a lot of prog.
I like prog.
I'm not.
But I grew into
I
prog.
can do it, but I like prog when I was
Like
younger.
these
I kinda
two
grew out
right
of it.
here,
Yeah.
David and Josh are definitely the resident metalheads on
Yeah.
our crew.
Pretty much.
Right.
Like I'm a metalhead, but I haven't really.
He's a metalhead
fully-
from the 80s that skipped
Like
the
you
90s.
very exactly.
We're probably to the
Like,
90s.
like you listening, he's like, oh, I love metal. Dragon Force, power metal. That
Iron
Blind
Man.
Guardian. Blind Guardian. Power metal. Like,
I only really have like two buddies. I only really have two buddies right now that are still into music like this kind of 90s metal, early 2000s metal that we're talking about right now. And one is my guitar player I have three because my guitar player, my drummer in our band, we kind of are trying to do like a throwback thing to this kind of sound, not like Slipknot, but like to
Dude, I
that.
definitely get like a
Metal.
90s kind of
Oh.
late 90s vibe from your stuff.
I think you missed the 90s.
But-
That's what happened.
No, what I'm saying is I only know like two or three guys that are still into that kind of sound. And I'm like, they say music goes around in a circle. I'm like, when the fuck is 2000 going to come back around
Yeah.
again?
You know, it is background. Now, Suicide Silence released their self-titled album like a week ago, right? it sounds everything of 90s metal.
I don't know. You hear the new single for Linkin Park. Linkin Park was part of the 90s new metal sound and everything. Now you hear the new
2001.
single, fucking Heavy?
They came out in
That shit is
2001.
garbage.
I mean,
It sounds
come
like
on.
a Justin
I know about
Timberlake
that
song.
album.
Oh my god,
It's
really?
horrible. That new
Marshmallow Madness. New Linkin Park song,
even the rock, like I listen to satellite radio.
It's called Heavy, and it sounds like a Justin Timberlake
I listen to
song.
satellite radio,
Hey,
right?
wow.
There's
Because
no
he got-
guitars, nothing.
He
It's
got the songwriter for Justin Bieber and someone else.
You're right.
But I'm sitting here like, I thought that Linkin Park wrote their own songs.
Right.
Well, what?
Ew.
Oh my god. All right.
Hey, Korn.
Now, before I have
They're taking it. Hey, Korn, you guys did that pop album.
let's talk about
the dubstep album.
let's talk about some of these songs, man. I love Sick. Eyes, dude. Like
Eyeless.
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 I cannot hardly read any of these. Like it took me forever to understand that track 5 means surfacing. I'm like, surfacing?
Ow. And there's Wait and Bleed surfacing.
He was
like,
homeschooled, okay? And we've met his parents.
He taught himself.
I taught myself how to read, man.
You taught yourself wrong.
Make sure you pronounce the syllables first, Travis.
Enunciates.
But no,
Sound
man.
it out.
Like, all right. I really like
the verb.
I really like Eyeless, dude. With the like, you can't see California without Marlon Brando's
Oh
eyes.
yeah, that song was our jam when we were kids.
That is rad,
That whole
dude.
album is like badass.
And Wait and Bleed is fucking rad. Like
The
Zack
video
said, like
was the
Zack
best.
said, dude. There's a groove to this album, man. That like no one else was kind of doing. Like I get it. I'm not even gonna lie, man. All right, I'm a big Fear Factory fan, right? I get slight Fear Factory vibes from some of the metal on here, man. Like the riffs and the real fast, aggressive drums.
Fear
dude.
Factory's been out longer though.
Well,
right?
yeah,
They've
Fear
been
Factory's been
15
around
years
since
before
like,
that.
yeah, dude.
Like,
Is,
but like, there's a
tendencies.
vibe from
Well, see,
this that I get from that I'm like I'm hearing. When I hear this, like to me, it's almost as good as something like Demanufacture, man.
See, a
Like,
lot of things say that's one of their influences.
like even like here's another thing. Even their Fear Factory's new metal-esque album, the Digimortal, like that kind of reminds me of this album. Like I dig the fuck out of this album.
I give it a thumbs up.
I think
That
they
was a
use.
funky
I think they guys
Let me back up
That's
here.
like parties and beer.
Yeah.
They use like all genres of metal because when I was listening to it the past few days, it's like I heard like black metal riffs and some of the stuff.
Yeah,
in
dude,
there.
I
like death
definitely-
metal and
yeah.
like all kinds of different stuff just being used.
Especially on All Hope Is Gone. I
Yeah,
heard
All
some
Hope Is
songs.
Gone has a lot of death metal drumming.
Like, yeah, I heard some songs that would, if you replaced Corey's vocals with
Yeah.
fucking Danny Filth, it would just sound like a Cradle of Filth song.
Oh, that actual song, the title's track from that album. That's because I thought I was reading about albums, right? I was reading about, and it said, well, I know we're jumping the gun. Maybe I could save the story for when we talk about All Hope Is Gone. If are we going in order of albums?
Yeah, we're going in order.
So
but-
we'll save it when we get there.
All right, you want to save
I'll-
it? But,
Masks are so awesome.
like, what do you think about this album, Kevin?
The first album, it
Yeah.
was sick, dude. And like I remember being a kid and Dragon Ball Z was the shit whenever this stuff
Hell
was coming
yeah,
out.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, bro.
Z.
And there's like
Came out
anime
like
music videos,
1987.
AMVs. There's
Yeah,
like
dude.
those things where it's Goku powering up and it's like Wait and Bleed is playing and like it's just like there was all these videos and like Wait and Bleed, dude. I was watching WWF all the time. I don't think they ever use that shit, but like that's the kind of music that goes with.
yeah.
It's like tied to my childhood of like monster trucks and pro
On Napster.
wrestling. Slipknot and Rob Zombie.
I
And so
found-
that first album
Yeah,
was the main one.
just kidding.
I know what he's talking about because I found out Wait and Bleed. Somebody took a lot of the anime shows with all the violent killing scenes and did it to Wait and Bleed, and it had like Akira. God, I can't
That
remember.
that was like when the internet first got up. That was like one of the first videos I remember
AOL's
seeing.
like, dude, look, videos.
Yeah, videos like, oh,
You can
cool.
watch a cat.
Internet's kick
So
ass.
it's 5 hours to be able to watch it.
Got a 10-minute porn, took
Yeah,
you 2
it
days
buffered
download.
20 minutes out of the 5 minutes
Fucking
that
bastard.
it played.
Yeah, kids these days are fucking spoiled with internet, man.
Yeah. I'm spoiled too.
Yeah, shit, me too, man. I'm like, I could never go back to that. I could never fucking
Well,
go back
it's
to
like
that.
my gaming. I can't go back anything lower than 60 frames per second now. Like all these games, like 30 frames. I'm like, I can't do it.
Josh, the PC gamer.
Master Race. PC Master Race.
As Ogre would say.
Did you get your switch?
But no, that first album was
You'll never
awesome.
see it.
First
Yeah,
album was
I'll
awesome,
bring
and then
my
Iowa I got into.
'Cause that's the only
But after
one plus
Iowa, I
one
did
for
fall
you.
out for a while, and I just saw like whenever music
He's
videos
playing
would
it
come
right
out
now.
and stuff, I would
He's
watch that
awesome.
stuff. I never bought another album after
One, two,
Iowa.
switch, whatever.
Damn.
No.
But the
I didn't either.
Really?
I mean, I've listened to them all, but the last one I bought was, well, except until recently, I just bought the new one. David said, you should listen to it. It actually sounds like original. I went and did it, but Iowa was the last one I bought because that was Napster. I was always
I bought some. I bought
downloading
into
shit.
the hype. I bought some
yeah,
Verses.
and I think that's what happened too. Is when I was a
Sad.
kid, I did pirate music. I would
Napster
fucking
was-
download
Napster was
that
the
shit,
shit.
you know.
It was, dude. We fucking.
LimeWire.
That's where I got a lot of my early ICP from back in the
Fuck the
day.
government.
What was that bear
Well,
one?
fuck the system.
Yeah.
Something bear.
You can
Share
get
Bear.
bootlegs and demos off all that shit too.
Dude,
That's
I
why
downloaded so many songs from bands that are on no fucking albums.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
No
especially.
labels. No labels.
Yeah,
nothing.
especially from ICP. Like, the fucking songs that. Like, dude, they have a fucking version.
psychopathic pirates shit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those cassette tape demos that never made it anywhere, and you can
Yeah.
only find them on like Napster and somewhere someone just ripped
Like,
it.
their version of I Be Stroking from Clarence Carter, but theirs is I Be Fucking. Like,
Yeah.
that is not on any fucking ICP album that I've ever heard.
That's how all the.
Well,
That's
yeah,
all
there's
the
a Slipknot
psychopathic
song that you
rapist
can
shit,
only
right?
specifically find through a download. Like you can't find it off anything. I can't remember the name of it though. It's been out. It came out. I think it came out on a on one of those movie.
It's not Eeyore, is it?
No, Eeyore's. That's shit. That's one of my favorite songs. I love that.
Was it? What didn't they have a song? Was it Purity? Was the song that was like had a story behind it or something? Was that the name of the song?
They all got stories behind it, man. It's Slipknot.
Well, yeah.
It's
You know,
Corey
it's like
Taylor. He
Purity
puts a
was
story
like
behind
had like a true
everything.
story, or it
I'm
was like
angry. That's what it is. I'm angry.
So, alright, y'all talk about this album real quick before we move on.
We're talking about it.
Y'all finally get back to
Give
it.
a
Get back
fuck,
to
man.
it.
I don't give a shit,
Man, so I remember when,
the song Purity. I don't think was on that album though. It was on that first album. They released it on Make
Yeah.
You Kill Repeat, and then they re-recorded it later.
I
But
remember,
it was about a girl who was buried alive.
It
It was
might
about
be.
a story that Corey read about a girl being buried alive.
Is
That's
that-
crazy.
Damn. To hell.
yeah, I mean,
That's fucking hardcore.
there's some fucking, like, they're the most gothic fucking lyrics that you can get to. Like, not emo, but gothic. Like, they're dark and
I looked
about
it up.
murder and death and whatever
I
else.
think it was re-released on Antennas to Hell.
But, like, I remember being in high school when I first listened to Slipknot, and I had, like, art class in, like, 10th grade, right? And he's like, draw something. So I drew Mick Thompson's, like, a big
You went to
fucking...
Russell County too, didn't you?
No, fuck no.
No, you went to the state.
Yeah, I went to the...
No,
I went to the smart
he-
person
He
school.
went, you went to the Juggalo school.
No,
That's
Oh,
where
damn.
all
Well, that's
the
why
Juggalos
me-
were.
I want to go there.
Me and Granny were the only
a
juggalos
bunch of
at our fucking
fucking,
school.
like gasoline huffing fucking motherfuckers.
Hey, yeah, all the
went over-
Juggalos we knew
Let me
were
tell you, I went over
fucking
to a buddy
stupid,
of mine's
man.
house, right? When I was in high school, I went over to my buddy Cody's house, right? And
Yeah.
he lived in this trailer. You remember Cody Killsworth?
Cody, dude.
Yeah.
The
That
check,
motherfucker,
dude.
he's in his
They had
trailer.
a Winnebago
Yeah.
in the front yard that didn't run, but they always kept it with a full tank of gas
To huff
just
on.
so they can huff the shit.
Yeah, I walk in one day, I go to his house or whatever. His face is just deep in a gas tank. Like, hey man, you want to hit that? I'm looking at him like,
Shit, we did Duster.
get
What you
outta
talking
here.
about? We were huffing Duster, playing D&D, listen to ICP.
hey,
we
here's some
played
whipped
D&D.
cream, turn that upside down, go.
No, we'd play D&D
I did the light shit, okay?
while listening to ICP and taking turns huffing Duster.
There you go.
That was some crazy shit.
Duster was like
Yeah.
the reverse helium, dude.
Yeah, if you go to Russell County, you got a bunch of the fucking. That's where meth started, right? Isn't that where they started cooking that shit? But
It might have been my chemical formula I made that.
yeah, I know, right? Like, hey, local shit.
Like, you inhale some Duster, you're like, what's up,
And
man?
you kill like half your brain
You
cells
can
too.
goddamn Barry White that
You know,
shit.
So this album, so the last two albums, or the first two albums, I should say, they ended on like 8-minute to 15-minute songs.
Yeah. Purity was re-released on Antennas to Hell, the live version of Purity.
But like Scissors, right? That's a long song.
Dude,
Yeah.
there's some cool fucking weirdness on that album, dude.
Yeah.
Right, and there's a shitload, like just
Yeah.
a lot of, like
It's-
it reminds me of the White Zombie movies more than the actual music. Like how like if you intend like how dark and like horrifying kind of sounds that they use for this album, the first album, you know, and they kind of put that into, they use a lot of what's like samplers and stuff on
Yeah.
it too.
Well, see, I like that instrument he's playing. It's like a laser beam, and then as he passes through it, it makes a sound. And depending on how close his hand got to the bass, I was like, what the fuck is that? I want one of those.
And hence Linkin Park was created.
Yeah.
Slipknot was doing it first.
They're like, hey, by the way, you're a DJ. Let's put a DJ in the band. Slipknot got it, but he put a mask
Plus,
on him.
you look at the band, you got a drummer, then you got other guys just beating on drums.
But look
So many drums. It's
prosthetics, dude. Prosthetics.
Check this out. Check this out. They're saying here on the Wikipedia, they're saying controversy on the purity on this album was it was because there was like sound clips of like the actual purity night as recorded by a young boy posted as evidence. So they used like a sound clip.
Whoa.
They used like a sound clip from this murder or from this trial or something.
Dude.
And that's why they were given a copyright
It's just
infringement.
fuck, right?
That's why it's
Baby
not
got
on there.
back.
And then
That's why they had to pull it. Crazy.
you can only hear it
Fucking
now
rad.
on Antennas to Hell.
Razzle
They have the live version on Antennas to Hell.
And so the live version won't have that sample.
Yeah, right.
That's just
Yeah.
like Smashberry.
'Cause they can't.
I never knew it though. I was told when I was a kid that they pulled it because it was too brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always the easy thing to say. It's too brutal, man.
That makes it sound more badass.
Yeah.
But like, dude, like, prosthetics has some great weird
it looks
shit.
just like it, and my squeeze it to do that shit.
Fuck,
Yeah,
dude.
Pretty sure you like Eeyore.
It's like this big,
Huh?
Eeyore.
but it's
Eeyore.
the same. It has the screen and everything on it. But
Um,
it's
Songs you like, I pretty much can figure out one.
A Tattered and Torn,
They
dude.
looks like old
Really
Playboy.
cool, weird shit. I like weird fucking shit. That, like, for the sake of just being weird and sounding
Yeah, we
weird,
know.
like, that's some cool fucking shit, man.
Yeah.
So the first album, great.
So yeah, great,
great.
fucking album, man. What you guys? We all agree.
I
the first
fucking
album was
love
great?
that album, dude. Like,
Clapping it.
yeah.
Y'all don't do like ratings.
Good job,
Yeah,
Sue.
we
No.
Good or bad. I like it.
Yeah, like,
Cool.
I
so
commend you.
next we have what year did Iowa come out?
2001.
2001, man.
I'm back.
2001's Iowa.
Maybe. I don't know.
This
I had this from original. I know exactly how it folds.
this has one of my favorite
Covers.
fucking lyrics, like, or maybe lines, like, ever, dude. I will slit your throat and fuck the wound. That is hard fucking core, man.
Ouch.
This
Yeah.
was. That.
There was two. See, I had both. There
I
was
love
actually
the
another.
shininess.
Well, there was another
Ooh,
cover that had it.
80s
there was
worst
this-
enemy.
They got one that's also, it shows a wall and the skull's hanging off the wall. I had that one too.
So good.
Yeah, I like
God.
I was really good.
The artwork in this one's
I mean-
badass.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
Now, whenever Iowa happened was when Stone Sour happened too.
no,
No, it was like
yeah.
It
2
was
years
after.
later. Stone
Okay.
Sour was like 2 years later.
No, Stone Sour came after about a year later, but that was when the song "Bother" got popular.
Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah, Spider-Man came out, and they're like,
I don't even know what the fuck that song has to do with Spider-Man.
you don't need to bother
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
I think they.
Don't bother Spider-Man. He's
Yeah.
crying
Did
because
you see Spider-Man 2? I mean, he was emo as fuck.
No, that was 3.
Three,
dude.
was it?
3,
I don't
bro.
remember. They ruined him somewhere.
Don't get us called the worst Spider-Man fans.
Batman, okay? Batman. I'm the worst Spider-Man.
Hey, Kevin.
You know who else did a Spider-Man song?
Spider-Man.
Nickelback.
Homer Simpson.
Yeah, Nickel.
Homer Simpson did
Spider-Pig.
Spider-Pig. Whatever a
Spider-Pig
Spider-Pig does.
As he climbs
Like
on a
Spider-Pig.
wall.
Spider-Pig.
No, we don't. He's a pig.
And of course,
Look out.
Family Guy did a Spider-Man thing
So,
too.
so
Peter.
Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're gonna get into Iowa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we are on Iowa now.
So Iowa has some of my, like I said, it's my favorite album of Slipknot.
Really?
Well, I'm the heavier, like I'm heavy, but I mean, I'm like, when it comes to metal, I like a lot of the heavier stuff.
Yeah.
Not so much as Josh when it comes to like certain like death metal bullshit. But I like heavy stuff. So Slipknot's heaviest album was
I can't get
Iowa.
into Mortician, man. That's just too heavy.
You can't get
I
heavy.
got Mortician.
Hell's
I
he
got
saying?
Mortician.
Destroyer.
Chainsaw dismembering.
Chainsaw.
Let me see.
Although I did like me some Anal Cunt. That was a good band.
Anal cunt, dude.
Because those songs are like 5 seconds long.
Hey, you gotta love Tampon Teabag.
So- One of my favorite songs on here,
Fucking awesome.
on this album is Skin Ticket. I heard it live on their, like they didn't play it live when I went to see them in concert, but they had it live on the 9.0 live,
Yeah.
their album, and I got the chills how well this song was done live. I mean, it was creepy as fuck, and I mean, just dreary, and you just like, and then it gets fucking heavy. And I love that song to death. Like, every time I hear it, I'm just like, I want to put them on headphones or turn it all the way up if it's on, like, in my car or something. Because that song just, it starts off like a bunch of, like chains are dragging kind of sounds to it. And then he's, you know, he's like, I'm in my cage. He's just like, you're just ready for it. You know something's going to come up. And then it just sounds like a bunch of, like, slave driving. It sounds like to me. Like somebody, like you're thinking like like in Demon World kind of thing where, you know, you got these, like, devil-type creatures pulling around, like, souls or some shit. And, I mean, it's just real creepy like that.
Hell yeah, dude.
And it's such a good song. And, I mean, of course you got the popular songs, New Abortion, which I heard New Abortion actually was the first song I heard of Slipknot, ever. Because I bought a sampler CD from Ozfest, 2001. Mm-hmm. And they had that song on there. And that was the first time I heard Slipknot was on that. It was
had the 2003.
Or 2000 something.
That one had Andrew WK on it.
Yeah, Kyle gave us that one.
But,
I think I still have it.
Really?
Yeah.
Rad.
But yeah, I heard New Abortion. I was like, fuck, this band's awesome.
You better get ready to die.
You better get
Man,
ready to
Andrew WK is fucking rad, dude.
Does he do anything anymore?
He made a third album, but he
had a show
I
on
think he
Cartoon
lives
Network.
in Japan now, dude. Like, he did like a Japan album, like a fucking, like a cover of like anime songs.
Wasn't the
That's
producer
awesome.
of his albums do Baby Metal?
Rock the Dragon. Rock
Huh?
the Dragon.
The producer for Andrew WK, he did Baby album, their first album.
Did he?
Baby Metal's first album? Yeah, it was
Oh,
the
yeah.
producer for
I
Andrew
think
WK's album.
NWK and Slipknot, I think Psychosocial. That video. It looks like they're going to go party, party, party. That's all they're
We're in a
gonna do.
cornfield! But I mean, this whole album is just like really, like, it's heavy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
It's
fucking
the heaviest
Man,
they've ever
It's
been.
not as
It's also the
hip
most
hoppy
angry, I
as
think.
like the music
The
style.
aggression
Hip hoppy
is
is the
There's
first.
so
Yeah.
much aggressiveness on this album.
Yeah,
Here's the
lyrically
weird
it's still
thing.
hip hoppy, but the music
To
itself
me-
is not hip hoppy. This
Yeah.
one's the more heavy metal version.
Yeah, like the weird thing is
Not
like
metal.
this album is heavier than the first one, but it's not as aggressive to me as the first one.
I felt that it was more
I thought it was more aggressive. I mean, People
think
Equal
the
Shit
one-
came on is the first song you hear, and
Yeah,
you're just
People
like,
Equal
Yeah, I mean, I guess
There were
lyrically.
songs on this album that I thought were on the first album because of how heavy they are.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, this is on Iowa.
Iowa was
you
like
know?
15 minutes long.
Dude, the song Iowa is amazing.
Yeah.
That is like Slipknot by way of Tool. Like, it sounds like a fucking Tool song, dude. Like, that's my.
Which
Not
one?
gonna lie, Iowa. Iowa's
a
my.
15-minute song. Yeah, I mean,
It's my
that's just
favorite
long
song
as
on
fuck.
this album, dude. Not gonna fucking lie.
He likes long songs.
I
he
like.
likes it long
I
and
like
hard.
weird bullshit.
He likes it long and hard.
Yeah, dude. It's long and hard, and it's badass.
Yeah, that whole album. I mean, there's not a
I'm
bad
reading-
song on it. I don't think either. Like that.
Is it the Heretic anthem where he says, if you're 555,
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I got a story
That's
behind
dumb
that.
to me.
I
love
I always thought that was a dumb lyric.
But I love
Right,
it.
but it gets you hyped up though. Like you
That's
get
powerful lyrics.
Go
How
to a
can you talk
Slipknot
about
concert.
I can see how you can say it, but like I'm with your buddy because like that's like they got this music that plays like during football games or like
Yeah.
during like
It's the hype song. I mean,
leading up to a boxing match or like
It's a hype
fucking
song.
WrestleMania or something.
It
So
get- it
like
gets you
that's what
pumped.
Heretic.
Like, so they used for the, like, when we went to go see him, when me and my buddy John went to go see him in concert, and my wife went, but she didn't go with me. We were dating at the time. Or we weren't dating, I think. We were not
Slipknot
together.
3 Stone Sour would have been amazing.
But no,
to
it was,
see.
it was All That Remains,
Error.
but it was All That
Yeah,
Remains
suck.
open, and then it went to Shadows Fall, Lamb of God, and then Slipknot. It was fucking amazing. This is when All That
would've been
Remains first
badass,
came out, though. Like, this is All That Remains first, or I think their first album, or their first breakout album. And then, Shadows Fall was out, has been out for a few albums, and come to find out, though, the singer from All That Remains was the original singer. The guy that's in Shadows Fall, the guy that's in Shadows Fall now, I thought he was the original singer, but I came to find out that the guy that sings in All That Remains was the original singer for Shadows Fall.
Little dude with the glasses.
No, whoever's the singer for All That
Oh
Remains.
no, I'm thinking Shadows Fall. I'm thinking of Darkest Hour. I'm sorry. Shadows Fall's the guy with the dreadlocks.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
long ass
Those guys
fucking
are sick,
dreads.
dude. Those guys are sick.
They are sick, especially live. And then Lamb of God, obviously, that was when the Wake album was out.
I started listening to all kinds of weird bands.
That shit. I mean, I'm a huge Lamb of God fan. Like I followed them since their beginning, and I mean, I love Lamb of God. My wife hates them, but I think they're fucking awesome.
They're balls out metalcore, dude.
Hell yeah, but except for they released an EP recently, The Duke, and I wasn't impressed. He starts singing, and you know some bands that
they have like a real metal attitude.
It just doesn't do
no
it
matter
anymore.
what.
But Slipknot came out, and you know they start a lot of their concerts. They start out with the 5-5-6-6. They wouldn't start out with the song, but they start out with a countdown. So you hear like you see 10, 9. 8, 7,
it's in this
6,
album. It goes,
6, 6, and that's what it started with. And you're just like, you know, you're gonna open up to something fucking sick.
Well,
and you hear people equal shit come out, and you're just like, fuck.
Because that's the opening to Heretic Anthem.
Unfortunately, though, for me, because at the time it was a good thing, but unfortunately for me now, knowing the way I listen to music, it was a Subliminal Verses tour.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because they were touring for their new album.
Yeah, so they were promoting that album.
How do you? Oh, we're gonna get there. God damn it!
It's not okay.
It's not for everyone. Some people like it.
It's not for everyone,
some
exactly.
don't.
And I'll tell you the reasons why I do like it and why
you like
I don't.
it more because of the musical style.
To me,
you
out
like
of the
that,
5 albums that have come out, it is my least
you
favorite.
like the technicality of it. But as far as just pure metal, like the first one,
We'll get it. I'll get into
it's
more of
not
what
the
I've
same.
We'll
told
get
you
there.
about.
We'll get there.
So
We're still
Iowa,
talking
though-
about Iowa, man.
Iowa, though, man, like every time I listen to Iowa, no matter where I'm at, I'm just into it. I mean,
Okay.
I turn it up.
So this was the time that the Disaster Piece DVD came out too, right?
I have that DVD.
Talk about one of like the best like
Best
concert
DVDs.
DVDs ever. of all
Ever.
time.
They have
Like-
all the videos. They have live stuff. They have into the.
Slipknot can put a show on.
I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't just a show though.
DVD,
Like, they
and we
did the
sat there and watched
background
that boy like
stuff.
twice back to back.
That
It
shit was funny as hell too, because there's in the Disaster Piece. I think it was that one or the next DVD they came out with. I have all 3 of them, but the last one of them they came out with, they were is it Craig that's the fucking spikes, or is it Chris? Craig. Craig's the one with the spikes.
I remember it was one of the C guys. I can never.
Yeah,
remember
I think
their
it's
names.
Craig. Chris is the nose, and then I could have it backwards. I'm not the worst Slipknot fan. It's just C names, and I don't fucking know.
We recognize their
Okay.
masks, not their.
It's one of their that guy, the spikes. Okay,
You only ever see Corey.
It's
Everyone's
Craig
like
or
Corey.
Chris, one of those motherfuckers. All right, well,
Pinhead, damn it!
Pinhead is the creepiest motherfucker, right? So they're videoing him, and they walk up on him, and he just kind of stares at him, and then disappears around the corner. That's it. That's the only time you see him in this DVD. The entire time, except for when he's like doing this motion for like 6 hours to a concert. That's all he does. Just I'm a danger to everyone's health. So.
In Disaster Pieces, there was that shot where like Sid is like they're doing Spit It Out, and he's trying to get everybody to sit down. You know, and that was the first time I'd ever seen that. The whole
Oh my
sit
god,
down,
that
jump
shit!
up
I
thing.
did that shit. That shit was fun. I
And so I never seen that shit before, and like I heard they broke a record when they did this at this concert that's on Disaster Piece, that it was like a record for the most people to follow a single vocal command in one area. Or
It was like 15,000 people at this concert or something like that. The biggest huge amounts. He's like, all right, motherfuckers, get down. So,
Yeah.
go over there, get your fucking ass down.
It's
He
like
was just, I mean, he was talking like an abusive parent.
This is how Colt
We're not starting this song.
We're not gonna start this till every motherfucker's on his fucking knees or some shit. And then he's like, get the fuck up! And everyone's just, all you see is just a wave of fucking people jumping. I mean, it was so fun. I saw him in Atlanta at the, whatever, not the Tabernacle, what's the other big one?
the Masquerade.
No, the big one. There's 2 big venues there. They had one, it was an outside venue.
Variety Playhouse.
I don't remember. But
So-
no, I saw him there, and like, you know, you can only fit about 5,000, maybe 7,000 people. I mean, it was sold out. So you have.
She's gonna hurt you. You're
She's
right.
gonna punch you, dude. Tom is going to fucking punch
But
you.
you have this many people, right? And half the stadium is grass area, right? So those people are fine. But I was closer, so I was in a seating area. It is hard as fuck to jump up and down in a seating area without trying to trip over and fall over on the person in front of you, because you have a foot worth of like leg room on this. So you're just trying to jump, like trying
That
not to
sounds
trip
like the
up.
Variety Playhouse because they did have theater seats in there.
I don't know. I saw the Warped Tour there.
Everyone
And,
jump.
like
I'm trying to
2007,
make
I saw the Family Values tour that was the first time I ever saw Korn.
They were still doing Family
So-
Values.
Yeah.
2007.
They were doing a Family Values tour for a long time.
Yeah.
in that DVD though, in Disasterpiece, when he makes everybody do the spit it out thing, Sid gets off stage because Corey's like, there's these motherfuckers over here who won't sit down. So Sid gets off the stage and he goes out into the crowd and he starts like physically like putting his hand on people and sitting them down.
You know, everyone was like, stand up so you can touch me.
Yeah, and so this dude reaches up and grabs the back of Sid's mask, and when he does, Sid turns around and knocks the shit out of the dude, and it's like 1-2s him, like hits him with a 2-piece, and then like somebody pulls him back, and he's just like, what? You know, like they get Sid back on the stage, and everybody sits down then, and then
5
they
minutes
do
later,
the
he
jump
jumps
the
off
fuck
of it.
up. But it was like when I was a kid and I seen that, I was like, holy shit! And I still watch it and I watch it for 2 reasons. I watch Disasterpiece for that shot and for the shot of when they raise Joey up on the pentagram
raise
drum
him and
set
spin him around and
and
shit.
Spin the drum set around.
That was
That
so
dude
awesome.
That shit was sick
wailing on
live.
the drum.
Just going off.
Like Tommy Lee
It
did
was
it,
the
but it looked
coolest shit,
better
and
when
then
Joey did
like
it.
it gets quiet at the end. All you see is the lights come on with the fucking upside down pentagram. You're just like, fucking metal. It was
I would
great.
give Disasterpiece credit as being like one of the best concert DVDs ever made, though. That shit's
It
sick.
is definitely one of the best ones ever made.
Damn, I have not seen it. I'm like the only one in this
You
room
want to
that
borrow
has
it? I
not
got
seen
it.
it.
I have all 3 Slipknot ones. I'll let you borrow them all if you want to check it because they're all worth it. Like
Disasterpiece was great.
they're all worth it though because they all do like their concert stuff and their live. Even the one with Subliminal Verses on it.
But
They're
dude,
all
man,
good.
like Iowa Man is like
Into the Nine though.
a
That shit was a great
huge,
fucking
like
live
it's
album.
weird, man, because it's.
That
and-
seems like that's the more satanic album they ever had.
They had time. They had time to deal with
Go.
it. And like
More than a
2 years
dream
of
of
2
the
years
Go
of touring
on.
this album and becoming this
It's
big,
like
hated,
so
like
but awesome.
juxtaposed, enigmatic band.
Yeah.
And so then they get to like make
So you love
Iowa
them or
as a
hate
band
them.
that's like known for what they actually do.
There's
And,
so much hate
I think
on
that's what
Slipknot
holds
now,
them. That's what like
online,
makes them
though.
different. You know what I mean? Like you see how that could be like constricting to a band, or like how it could like aim what you do or whatever. Like
Yep.
because now you're in the spotlight. At the first album they had the element of surprise, and on this one they have to. So they got more metal.
MTV happened to them.
Yeah.
And that's what
MTV
happens to
effect.
Little Verses that we'll get to because
Now, like,
That became the
Sell it
popular
out.
thing to do.
but yeah, this album like
it's
is.
a sellout album.
You know, I was probably wrong by saying it's not as aggressive as the first one, because the lyrics are fucking hardcore,
Oh, yeah.
dude. Like
It's the one I've been listening to the most out of all of them.
these.
Yeah.
It's my favorite one.
It
It's
is
the
like
best.
most Slipknot fans' favorite album. 'cause
This album
it
is
the hardest
sick.
It's
album.
what you
as
want back.
fuck.
What I think. That's
This-
what I want.
Dude,
That's
like
what
the
News
goat.
kind of went for. It
This
was
goat,
very
man.
close.
It was.
But it was missing all those weird noises.
It was the best of all their best stuff, though. I think.
Well,
I
we'll
think
get to
it
that
was-
one.
I'm gonna name this
We'll get
goat
to that.
Black Phillip.
Why are you fucking gonna
But-
name it? You haven't drank that much.
Dude, I'm a little
We're
blue.
2 albums in, he's already.
But this
Right.
goat, man, it's Black Phillip, and every time I look at this CD case, I swear he's gonna ask me if I swear he's gonna be like, "Do you want to live deliciously?"
Oh.
Anybody seen The Witch? Anybody?
Somebody root for you
Yeah,
there.
I want to.
Dude, The Witch is so fucking awesome. But no, man, like this album, like is
I can remember
fucking
tomorrow.
probably what is this?
Watches the
2001.
video game.
Out of all the
That's it.
popular shit
2
in
years
2001, as far as like heavy metal goes,
I don't remember.
this is like
Wait for it.
the heaviest, sickest, and darkest shit.
Hell yeah.
That I mean, like, I hate that I just now started listening to this band because damn, I missed out on some really good shit.
I hate to tell you, bro, there was probably some nastier shit.
Yeah, there
coming
was
out.
much nastier.
Yeah.
Like I said,
like out of the
I'm pretty sure Cannibal
popular,
Corpse was putting out some horrible
Cannibal
shit in
Corpse,
2000.
obviously. I mean, like, but for as far as like
Anal
MTV
Blast, Anal
bands
Cunts.
go, man,
there's
as
some
far
really
as
dirty bands that are out
as
there.
far as MTV bands go,
How do you get booked as a
Bloody
mainstream
Anus, that
band,
was a
even
band.
a band like Slipknot in the first place? How do you get promoted as like with bands like Korn and stuff? What was the thing about them? that
They
made
had
them different?
9 people in their band, and
That's
they
a
all
lot
wore
of
masks. I
They
mean,
had a
that-
gimmick.
what is more gimmick? Look, Slipknot
because they
is the
finished
start
heavy,
of
like-
gimmick metal. Okay, Mushroom Head, yeah, they did it first,
They were underground.
but they were underground. They were barely known before Slipknot.
Guar, motherfuckers.
Okay, Guar did costumes though. That like a whole
He's
costume.
still wearing a mask.
Yeah, and paint and penises and all this other shit.
But then,
I mean-
you wouldn't call them. Their was not this hardcore.
Guar was known
Intense
by a
metal.
bunch of they were known.
Guar is more catchy.
Yeah,
than
it
this.
was
Guar was originally they started more punk
Kitschy
stuff.
would be better.
Their first album was
Yeah,
a little
Guar was
more
a punk band, dog.
Yeah,
They
it was
played
like
metal
Guar was
shit,
exactly-
but
it was
They
like a
started
punk
getting
style.
more metal
Hello.
after
Metal.
2000.
Hello is a little more punk, but after that it's straight up metal. But
Yeah.
And they were more
Sodoma
comedic
Go-Go.
though too. I mean, you think about it, they were more
Hell,
of a
so
comedy
Donald,
metal.
go. Man, this Toilet Earth, goddamn, we got to do a Guar retro.
I didn't know what
at
Guar
some
was
point.
until I saw Bam Margera's show. Okay, so
What?
We grew up with
Yeah.
Did you just say you didn't hear about Guar till you saw Bam Margera?
Is that? But that's why. So that's what you're saying is the reason Slipknot got mainstream exposure is because they were a gimmick band. Because I heard somebody
they
say
were
that. it was a
extremely
gimmick band.
gimmicky.
That's what David is saying
I think
here.
I'm saying it because you have 9 guys come in. Like one, you don't have bands that do 9 people.
Yeah, that's too many fucking people to fucking
Right.
pay, man.
They-
They're playing trash cans. They're like, yeah, we got 2 trash can players.
Yeah,
They got the guy-
that is true.
They got this
Yeah,
guy.
one drummer
the
and trash can
bicycle
player.
frame.
They're creepy looking as fuck. I mean,
I gotta make a noise on this machine.
right? I mean, this is the late '90s, and new stuff is
5
coming
guitar
out.
players.
But then you have these 9 guys that are like, fuck you to the establishment, fuck you to the music production and everything. We can do this on our
Yeah,
own,
'cause
which they
you
did. Their first album was basically
You
them,
had bands like
in a
System of
basement.
Down and Corn, and what got people them? Well, these guys are like the kind of the same style, but they're opposite. These are like you didn't have nothing very metal.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
dark
they came
metal.
out. I mean, there's a lot of death metal. I mean, Deicide's been out since the '70s.
Yeah.
And they were
It's
Have they
fucking
really?
I don't know about the 70s.
They've been around for a while.
late '70s,
I don't
early
think I
'80s.
really
Look it up.
did.
Late '70s,
Deicide in the 70s?
late
Deicide
like
in the-
'79.
Deicide in
I mean,
the 70s?
They started in the '70s, but
There's-
they were
there's
popular
all
to the
kinds of
'80s.
very-
But they were in the '80s.
Okay,
There's
too.
some
Google.
very good metal.
Deicide.
I don't know if anybody was people growling in the 70s still.
Yeah.
Were they doing that?
Yes, they
Deicide
were.
around.
They were that high pitched, but that was one of the underground
Gloom
stuff,
metal. Man, some gloom metal.
though. But yeah,
Or
Deicide
doom.
was fucking
That's
heavy
probably
as
more on the
fuck.
doom metal.
Okay,
like,
Google.
some Black Sabbath's first
Hey,
album. was
Black
doom metal.
Sabbath created heavy metal and created fucking doom metal.
And now
Like,
they're retired.
That first
two
Black
birds
Sabbath
with
album
one stone, bro.
was very good.
But yeah, I mean,
Uh,
that's what got Slipknot popular. I think was the fact that they were a 9-person metal band. They came out around the same time Korn did,
Yes,
and they were new. Came out in like I said, jumpsuits and masks, and people were like, "That looks creepy as fuck." And then you heard their music, you're like, "Holy fuck, these guys are metal as fuck."
Man, can you imagine how hot you'd have to fucking be
So
playing a freaking show?
Yes.
Latex max and a
Oh.
mask
they
and
said,
overalls.
so
You had to
in
burn it
the
up.
video,
You see, Corey's masks just keep getting smaller and more open and shit.
Yeah,
So,
dude.
I'm not sure if it's in the DVD Disaster Piece or they just talked about it, but there was a point where
That's
Jim
why
Root,
That's why he did Stone Sour. So he
James
could wear
Root.
masks.
Yeah.
there's a point James Root, they said that he had to like throw his mask out because it smelled so bad.
Always heard the masks were stinky as shit.
Oh,
Which I-
nice.
Yeah.
When was it?
So, like,
Lisa.
who's the main guitar player? Is it James
I
or
bet
Mick?
that's when they got popular though.
That I
That's
do
it,
not
found it.
know.
Oh really? Oh, was a lie.
Because, like, I remember being a
Wow.
kid being scared the fuck out of Mick.
I think it might.
That
Mick
big
Thompson
Mick-
is my favorite guitarist. I don't care what
I
you
think
say.
he is the main.
He was the
one.
reason why I started getting rhythm. Like
Is
besides
he the
White
guy
Zombie.
that writes the majority?
He's
or-
no Yingwei Malmsteen.
Fucking
like White Zombie was the reason why I got into metal, but Mick Thompson was the reason why I started playing guitar. Like I'm a big metal, like rhythm guitar metal. Like I just like that. Dun, 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 dun. Like
You
just
like the Degent?
like the
Yeah,
If I had a 7-string guitar and
drive,
low
man.
B, I just went down.
Does anybody else hear, like, a major Pantera influence out of these guys, too? Does
Slightly.
anybody hear a lot of...
Yeah.
I hear, like, a lot of their riffs, I hear, like, they're playing, like, these, like, southern kind of, shapes or whatever, like, in their riffs or whatever. It's like...
All Hope Is Gone had a lot of riff styles from Pantera, I think, more than
Yeah,
anything.
when you really think about it, like the
All Hope Is Gone
the
sounded
progression
more
of some of the
fresh
songs
metal to
does
me.
have that kind of Pantera style.
Definitely.
rhythm.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a couple
They
songs.
Sounds like if they had
All
3
Hope Is
Vinnie
Gone
Pauls
itself.
instead of one.
But there were
Yeah.
Three Vinnie
correct.
Pauls.
There were a lot of songs in All Hope Is
It
Gone
just
has a
all
lot
they did
of
was
that
change the
southern
distortion
metal that
and
vibe
added weird
more.
sound effects, and you just
So,
But no, I think his vocal style and the guitar is both reflect Pantera. When I was listening to it, I was
We all
like
know
thinking,
I
I
was
can
amazing.
hear Pantera.
I was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Again,
Iowa gets claps.
you get the clap.
Now we're
No, it's
going
not the golf
to we're going to the moment that probably divided Slipknot fans.
It definitely did.
It divided the fans.
I remember when this came out, Scott brought it over, and he was hating on it the whole
And
time.
he was the biggest
okay.
Slipknot
I was
fan
trying
we
to
knew.
listen to it, and he's like, "Man, fuck this song, Skip. Fuck this song." I'm like, "Dude, let me hear it."
You are talking about Scott now.
Yeah. Scotty, Scott.
I mean,
Let's separate the men from the chicks who like
look,
Slipknot.
if he was anywhere, if he was in anywhere with contact with y'all still, he'd be pulling a Matt right now and be like, "You guys fucking suck."
You sure he's not in prison
Still
right now
childish as
somewhere?
hell. You know,
Yeah, he's probably killed somebody.
That's like Matt and Scott were like the two guys that we were friends with for like 10 seconds of life, and we're like, well, that was hopeless.
We had to
That was a
had
waste
to
of my
dump
life.
him, man.
Yeah, this one, it's pretty much where you can tell. This is where the Corey Taylor, he splits his personalities. You get Slipknot and you get Corey Taylor.
Corey Taylor stated in an interview about a few months ago, right? They asked him, out of all your albums, which ones do you hate the most, right? Or how would you name? He put All Hope Is Gone as his least favorite, but not because it was bad, but because the fact that it wasn't together as a CD. Like it was kind of like there were good songs, but just kind of placed on an album, and that was his reasoning behind it being the worst. His second worst album. Number 4 out of all 5 of them was Subliminal Verses because he hated his vocals. Which is the reason I agreed with him. I hate his vocals. He is raspy as fuck. He sounds like he has a cold the entire time he's singing. This is a good Stone Sour
His
album.
voice was fucked, right? His voice voice got fucked up right here, right?
He was trying new things. That's what he said. He's like, I was like, I don't like that album because I was trying to do something new with my voice. And it didn't work out. I'm like, yeah, you should have heard that the first 2 times you heard it. Like, this sucks. I mean, his vocals are just terrible, and that's why I hate the new Korn song.
The music itself is fucking amazing.
His vocals on the new Korn song, A Different World, were exactly the same
Yeah.
Subliminal Verses, which I was like, why? Now, there were songs that are good on that album, on Subliminal Verses. I like the songs as a band.
But he's not screaming like he used to.
He's like breathing and
sounds like a
nostrils at the same
normal
time. At the same time, he's screaming, and then he's like, "Yeah, I just did the same things I did in Stone Sour, which was wrong." This is the heaviest Stone Sour album I've ever heard. That is how bad. Oh, he's gone.
No, he's there.
Okay, this is the heaviest Stone Sour album. This is when you hear fucking Iowa, and you're like, "Yeah." Then you come out with this bullshit, and it's light as fuck. It's Stone Sour all over it. I mean, he's singing on it.
But I love those little guitar sweeps on that one.
But that's not Corey Taylor, okay? That's Jim Root going in the background going, okay, I'm going to do something to make this at least better than what he's doing now. The album itself, Opiate is a fucking, Opiate, right?
Opiate for the people.
Opiate is a fucking awesome song. I like the song Pulse of the Maggots, except for...
You need to send him an email.
because you hear...
Send him an email and say, please re-record this with your normal
with the
Slipknot
new,
voice.
like, do what you did on the new album with these vocals, please, because then it would be an awesome album.
Just re-record this album with the correct voice. That would be an amazing album.
Can we not have Stone Sour on your fucking Slipknot? You want two bands that's fucking
Didn't they
great.
do that with another track where they took out his screams and replaced it with him singing?
It was awful.
It was My Plague has 2 versions where they took out
That
the
is
version.
true.
No.
Yes, that is true. I remember hearing about that. There was another recorded,
It's the
previous
version for
recorded version that it was never put on the album.
Thank
but
God.
It was for Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But that one also had Before I Forget
Wait
on
a
it,
minute.
which was their...
Hey,
You're a
Before
fan
I
of Before
Forget is stupid.
It is dumb as fuck.
Look,
They took the masks off for this video and I hated it. I was like, no,
Dude.
you don't paint your face
Dude.
black, that's racist.
These lyrics in Before I Forget, right?
Well, it's like
I make
ICP
fun
taking
of
a fake
these.
Mac,
I remember
doing
when
an
this
album,
song
they'll
was
make-
on
that
Guitar
was
Hero,
funny.
dude.
I didn't even do the whole album. Like
Look, man, I remember when this song was on Guitar Hero, and I used to fucking, you know how he says, I will remember before I forget, I was a worm before I was a man, right? So, like, I remember when Styles and Zack would be playing Guitar Hero, dude, I
you
would
have
be,
more growl than that.
I would be like, I was a seed before I was a plant. I was a Cheeto before I was shit. I drank a beer before I took a piss.
That makes more sense. Well, his shit didn't make no sense. It made no sense.
I have nothing.
Was a creature before I could walk.
Like these, okay, so like Pulse of the Maggots was awesome live, right? It's an awesome song live, but it's still.
Pulse of the Maggots is a pretty cool song.
When he's
Vermilion Part 2 is better than Part 1.
yeah, it's soft, but it works so much well.
It's
There's
a dark
few-
thing, and I saw what they're
That's the
trying
one
to
where
do
he's
there.
like, I won't let
Look,
build up
this is what it
inside
is.
me.
This is where you don't put your fucking love songs into
I was
my heavy
listening to
metal.
that song.
Yeah, right?
Get your fucking love songs out of my heavy metal right now.
Seriously.
Quit
Right.
talking about
This
this.
shit is not about
girl
Satan or
who
death. I don't wanna hear it.
everything.
Last week when I started listening
Suddenly,
to
though,
this,
it's about fucking
The-
kidnapping and
the
holding
song
it
y'all were talking
hostage.
about
So
came
it's
on.
pretty dark.
and Hans
Yeah.
was like, I won't let this
Is it the
build
same
up
chick?
in sodomy.
It's built up in sodomy.
That's what it sounds like. When she said that, I was
This
like,
album is filled with that shit. This album is filled with misheard
Subliminal
lyrics.
verses.
Right?
It is filled
Build
with
up, I won't let this
subliminal
build up in
verses.
sodomy. Then, alright, I saw your meme you posted earlier, right? I pushed my fingers into my pies! And I'm like, dude, like, imagine this, dude. Imagine this. I push my fingers into my pies, put it in the stove, and it slowly starts to bake.
That's just
It's
great.
funny you say it. We used to do like Lincoln Park with pie. We would be like, one thing, I don't know why, it doesn't even matter because I like pie. Watch the pie go right out the window. I wasted it all. You know, we'd be like, we would try to do as many Lincoln Park songs about pie as we could.
That's amazing.
Crawling
Jesus.
with my pie.
But no, I will say about that song though, like I like the way that song starts, dude. Like
Yeah.
the way that the production on that song is.
Are you
With
talking about
push my
Duality?
fingers into my eyes.
Dude,
Yeah.
Duality is
Dude.
badass.
And the way that the
I like the
fucking
video because
track
I wish I was
drops
there for
whenever
that
he
video.
does
Like I
it.
would love to be just fucking moshing and just getting like.
I push my fingers into my eyes.
You take the vocals out of this album, it's a
It's fucking amazing Slipknot
amazing
album.
album,
Dude.
But then Corey Taylor's like, alright, let's do some Stone Sour
It's
stuff
Stone
with it."
Sour ruined
It's-
it.
it's the
yeah, in a
heaviest
way,
Stone
it's
Sour
softer
album
than
ever.
Stone Sour.
The only guitar riffs of Slipknot
What?
that I ever learned how to
In a
play
way,
was
this
like
Have you heard ZZYX Lane or
Vermilion
whatever the fuck that song
Part
was?
2.
I have
gotta
that.
play-
The first
Yeah,
Stone
that's
Sour
the first
album. I don't have the second one.
That's the
But
second one.
this
ZZYX.
is
whatever,
harder, or this is actually softer than a Stone Sour record.
In a couple songs there are softer songs, but Vermilion was the ones that were songs.
The Virus of Life is an awesome song.
Yeah.
That was pretty dark.
The
It's
last
really
three
dark.
songs on there that were secret tracks were heavier than the whole.
Alright, I'm gonna take a piss real quick. Kevin, talk about this album real quick. I gotta
Oh damn! I was gonna
He's
go
just
with
told
you,
every,
bud.
all 300
Oh,
that he's on.
all
the
right,
section.
Break.
Alright, piss break. Y'all three
Let's
talk
take-
about this. I'm
No,
gonna whiz.
I'm gonna go piss.
He's gonna go join you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in the bathroom. We're gonna cross streams.
That
We're all
guy's going to
splitting.
the bathroom. One comes out happy.
I'm gonna piss on the sidewalk. Like a hobo.
Somebody's gonna drive by and see
I
that.
don't care.
Now there.
Does Josh have two phones?
No, I have two phones.
Why do you need two phones?
I have a work phone. I'm on call for a week every month.
Ooh.
It's not bad. No one ever calls. I get like one call, maybe two a week, if that. And then half the time it's like, no. I get paid. I mean, they pay me for it, so why not?
Wish I was getting paid to be on call.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I can say about Subliminal Verses. The live concert for this was an awesome concert. And, I mean, it was... When it came out, I liked most of it, right? But then as I got older and listened to it over and over again, and I was reminded that it just got worse
Evacuation complete.
and worse.
To me, it's
Evacuation.
to me, this is one that I have to listen to. You know, I have to pay attention to it.
God forbid you gotta listen to an album.
It's extremely produced, and
Yeah, it's the first one that I've ever felt like.
It's their sellout album.
Well, yeah, that. But
So-
I'm like, it's the first time I ever felt like I couldn't instantly get into it. I
Yeah.
had to let it grow on me.
And I wouldn't say it's sellout because, you know, a lot of people were like, you're not a true Slipknot fan, you know, because they didn't sell out. And Slipknot that's what they said. They're like, so at the concert, right, they're promoting their third album or whatever. So they go, They said we couldn't do it on our first album. We got it platinum. They said we couldn't do it on our second album, double platinum. And now, thanks to you motherfucker maggots, triple platinum on Subliminal Verses. And I was just like, that's wonderful. Get to metal.
That's because by the third album, everyone already expected they're going to have something as good as
Right,
first two, and they bought it. They just bought it.
I bought into
No
it.
question.
I was like, oh, it's fucking Slipknot. I heard Duality, and I was like, fuck, that's a badass song. And then I heard the rest of it, I'm like, I paid money for this. I mean,
It's spoiled.
I will not
It
say
ruined it for me for a while because it's just so
it was
damn
really
soft.
bad for the fact that I will not go as far as going like the See You on the Other Side Korn album where I would say that you would ripe a turd.
It's a bad follow-up.
It's a terrible follow-up to Iowa.
Yeah.
This
Terrible.
is something that you do on your last album and stop making music ever again.
Well, like I said, if I wanted to hear Stone Sour, I would just go buy a Stone Sour album.
I would
do
have
like
just
some Stone Sour.
LimeWired it because this came out in 2004.
There's at least
5,
3 songs I do like.
2004? 2004.
Which one?
5. Subliminal Verses.
I think it was 3 years after, so it should be 2004.
Oh, why do they have to be so tight? 2004, yeah. So I saw this the summer of 2004.
Because it was 2 and then 3. I mean, 2 and 4.
But I mean, yeah, I just graduated high school. We went to maybe it was 2005 when they went to that concert, when they did that concert though. But it was a Subliminal Verses tour, I know that much, because they were promoting that album still. So I think it was right at the end of 2004 probably is when they came out with the album.
Yeah, because there was nothing else for quite a while until you get to fucking
2008.
Psychosocial.
So, yeah, we'll get to that too. Because Travis obviously loves that one too.
Again, it's like this one.
No, I would not say that.
Lyrically, it's not.
It's not as bad. He was trying.
Lyrically, it was better, but then the music itself got crappier.
extremely produced.
Because like this
They
one,
went Pantera on the
music
fourth
was
album.
great.
Yeah.
The vocals sucked.
They
This
went
one,
backwards. Like
the
Cortez was
vocals
like, I'm
suck.
doing it right this time, but the rest of the band's like, fuck.
So, I guess here's my thing about this album, dude. This album,
Yeah, he's probably that's alright.
this album, I don't
You're
believe.
standing in front of the camera, man. All we're seeing is your ass.
I don't believe this
Shake it.
album is as bad.
Look at your kids like handshake cock sticking out
I'm
their
here.
pants.
Look.
Like,
Travis, look at the camera.
do a thrust
Now
with
you
it,
think-
Josh.
I don't want to be the head in this dick area.
Oh, he's out and crappier. Oh, just getting a
What are
little
you
So-
guys doing?
Oh,
What are you guys doing to those?
You can't see the camera, man. You won't understand.
all right.
He
all
just
right.
sees Josh doing this.
Here's my thing.
Braves fans.
Here's my thing. This album, I would say, coming from like a somebody who's not attached to Slipknot, you know.
I was expecting.
Dude, I
first
respect
Iowa.
y'all's opinion on this shit because this album is definitely a shitty follow-up
You would have said dope. I would
to Iowa. It is definitely a shitty follow-up,
We are
but
talking about number 4 now.
no, we're talking about
Number 4 keeps going down worse.
We're talking
Oh,
about
God.
we're still on Subliminal 3. Like we'll get into your bit on it in a second. But it is definitely a shitty follow-up to Iowa. But at the same time, I don't think it's as bad as we make fun of it definitely, but I don't think it's as bad as
It's like I said, it's not bad. It's just his
I think
vocals
it's like
suck.
half good. Yeah,
His
vocals suck.
Lyrically and musically, it's a great album.
Yeah.
It's like a third bad.
Yeah, it's
got 3 parts.
I can see myself.
You got Subliminal Verse. You got
got
validity.
vocals, music,
Like,
and
when you make
lyrics.
2 parts to one song and you have to make it in between different songs,
You got
you're
problems.
doing something wrong.
Well, I mean, I can
Why can't it just be one long song?
Well, Pink
Yeah.
Floyd did it on "Wish You Were Here,"
How long did that come out?
like 70 something.
Right, that's a big difference.
Yeah, well, how is that a difference?
Because back in the 70s, that was cool to do. It's no longer because you could smoke weed and no one would give a fuck anymore.
You're right about that, but I don't think this album is as bad as like people make it out to be. Because yeah, it's definitely the
There are
MTV
people that love this
album.
album.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's,
Like
Sit down.
The
You're in front
riffs-
of the view.
That's what I said.
the riffs are awesome to
this
me.
one's
Yeah,
not so
there
much
is
of
that.
a. You
I'm
love
so
it or
glad
hate it.
that was empty.
Yeah.
She was about to kill
This
you.
album is not so much you
never
love
seen
it or you
Stasi
hate it.
slap
It's
him.
more of a. You got people who love it or hate
Finally
it,
about
and
to see my
most
lifetime
people
goal
just kind
in
of,
life.
it's okay.
Stasi
It's not
beat
that
someone
album.
down.
Yeah, like it's
It's It's just an average Slipknot album.
Yeah, to me it's
nothing spectacular.
I think I could only pull probably like 3 tracks off of this album that I really like would go back and listen to a lot.
Yeah, there's a couple of
maybe 4 if you're lucky. Like I'll listen to Pulse of the Magnets because I love how the crowd thing works. They do that.
But I do like, even though I talk shit on Vermilion, like I do like the guitar and the music in those songs. Like,
Vermilion
until
really
it comes
good.
in, you're like, I'm done. Turn it off.
I like Vermilion because I was also it's
I like
on
the
the Resident
videos.
Evil soundtrack.
More than I like the song. Like I like the videos. Like the only time I'll ever listen to Vermilion, the song itself, like want to listen to it, is when I'm watching the video with it because there's a cool video for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that,
like what I was saying is like as a guitar player, like that was the first time I ever messed with playing their riffs or whatever, like with Slipknot riffs, because they had an acoustic song all of a sudden. So I was like, where I come from, like playing. Like my background of playing guitar is like country music and stuff, and so I was like, well, I can play this song, and so I start learning how to play this riff, and I play metal too, but like I was playing this riff, and like the way that they use like dissonant chords, they use like a dissonant note over every note has like another note ringing over it, and it gives it like this real uneasy feel or whatever, like this like kind of floaty feel.
He sounds like Squidward. That's what it is.
Dude, I totally hear what you're saying, man.
Yeah, because every note he plays, it's got you just hear this one note that rings through the whole note he's trying to play. It has a detuned kind of sound to it.
Exactly.
It sounds good.
That's something that ever since I learned that song, I've always like kind of not in every song I play or write, but like I apply it to songs in a lot of ways, to where like put a note that's like supposed to be here. Put this guy. I don't know how to explain it, you know. But it's like you always have like a off kilter note that like still fits in place.
It's
a detuned note. You're gonna have the rest of the note right, but then this one's just sort of weird. It's just like a detuning.
It's just
it sounds weird, but it sounds
really
good.
creepy.
My
creepy
biggest
vibe
pet peeve
like,
for this album though is the fact that
that
it's
does it too. You know, like there's a lot of bands that do it, but
like Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, that detuned piano, because that real creepy sound when it just sort of the note's not right. You can tell it's not right. But it just sounds good.
Right. If you play like my mentality is if you play like 4 out of 5 notes right, then it'll still sound good.
You only gotta hit a couple notes right.
Distorted,
that's what Rocksmith says.
Yeah, no one's gonna notice.
Rocksmith says, "Hey,
no one
notices
hit
most of the notes
distorted.
you got."
You're on the wrong string, but
okay, and that's another thing because I didn't want to come into this. I didn't know. I know you're a big Slipknot fan, but like I didn't want to come into this and like shit on these guys because I don't hate them. But like, there's one critique.
If we argue,
if they screw up, they should be shit on.
You weren't here for the Korn album retrospective. We shit on the fuck all over this. And we're the worst Korn fans in the world. So.
A lot of their riffs, a lot of their guitar riffs, not all of them, but a lot of their riffs, and it's always in their major, like in their music video songs and stuff like this. They're like basic ass riffs. They're like
they really are
basic chord progression.
But
every
they make
time.
it work though, and that's you also have a certain sound that Slipknot brings out in a lot of their popular, more like their favorite songs.
They own those basic riffs.
They have these certain riffs, like it's a Slipknot sound because you hear this certain riff that they have. That Mick Thompson's like open key fucking dun 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 dun, and you're just like okay.
But that's kind of all over that whole genre, you know.
Well, it is. There's nothing when you really break it down. It's very basic guitars. It's very basic.
And that's why I like
good.
Like they were the first ones that made it cool. Like
they made it cool to be like, I want to play the same.
They made it drop D awesome, okay?
Right. Well, no, you're right, because then bands like Disturbed come in and like ruined it for everybody.
They got better. Their last album was awesome.
They're okay. No,
I haven't liked them before that, but I like their last album.
I'm not a Disturbed fan.
As somebody that grew up and I was learning how to play guitar off of all these guys' riffs, like I was learning how to play guitar from what these guys were putting out.
Wow,
that's horrible.
God damn, David.
I can't do this.
It sounded like somebody was tugging on his nuts whenever he did that.
Ooh, ow.
Yeah, you're definitely right about their.
What are you guys a Slipknot or are you guys Slipknots or what? What is that? That's
We're fucking maggots. Oh man, so wait, real quick.
That's how he
I'm
came
sorry.
up with it. He stubbed his toe and went, ooh, ow, 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 ow.
Let me tell you about this. I got a quick story. So I was in Savannah in December, right?
Yeah.
Me and my wife were down in Savannah and we're walking on the Riverwalk area, and walked by a guy. I had my Slipknot shirt on. And we walked by this guy wearing a Slipknot hoodie, and you know I don't always like. It was kind of hot, so I had my hoodie unzipped a little bit. But he saw it just enough to see Slipknot. He goes, "Hey man, maggot for life, man." I was like, "Yeah, you're a crackhead." He was like, "Maggot for life, man," and I was like, "Whoa, you do too much meth. Put it away." I mean, that shit was funny as fuck. I'm like, yeah, there's a.
Is it like
brandy
in that, dude?
That's
Is
cracking.
it like
Whatever.
be in that sense where they
This
have
is a
like
nice
super
bottle.
fans that take the shit too seriously? Because I feel like they do. From one of the little bit of looking online that I did today, there's like these crazy fans for
Yeah, the
Slipknot.
hard. There's always everything has hardcore fanboys.
There are
though.
hardcore fans. Like
everything.
I was thinking I was a hardcore fan, but
No.
you know,
People
there are
take,
people
some people
like
take shit way too seriously.
and when you start calling yourself by the names that the band calls you, such as Juggalo and Maggot, you beat me. Like you know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go around calling myself a maggot.
Like,
but
you
I'm
know,
a Slipknot fan.
my deal, like I came into I know I called myself a juggalo earlier, but it's like it's parody. Like I know what the joke is.
You're not walking around with face paint all day and
Face paint, wearing
Drinking
every
Faygo.
Juggalo shirt, carrying around the Faygo
I mean,
bottle.
the thing
we love
is,
us some
like,
Faygo, man, because we just drank because we were poor.
The way I look at
50
it
cents
is
a bottle.
my mission is to promote a better image
That shit
of
came in
juggalos.
bottles. It didn't come in
yeah,
cans.
promote a better
That's
image of
kinda
juggalos. Like, cause I'm definitely a bohab. I'm definitely a fucking disciple. I'm definitely a fucking
Believer.
deadhead.
Believer.
And if I'm not a believer, I'm definitely a little monster.
What the fuck is that?
You don't want to know.
The movie? I've seen the movie.
Is that Lady Gaga?
Yeah, Lady Gaga, bro.
I guess I'm a children of the corn then.
Yeah, Children of the Corn. Oh my god, dude. And like, you know,
Yeah.
if I listened to Jimmy Buffett, guess what? I'd be a parrot head too.
Nice.
But I mean, come on, dude. Like, to me, it's always about, you know, it's kind of cool to have something
AIDS
to
burger
name your
in
fans. You know what I mean?
paradise.
Like,
Yeah. No, to
That's-
call yourself a juggalo shouldn't be a bad thing. To be a juggalo and have that be associated with being a piece of crap human being.
White
is
trash.
bad.
White trash.
Yeah.
White
Well, see,
trash.
that's the problem, though. See, you can't. It's hard not to call yourself a Juggalo and consider yourself that because
Yeah, and plus I'm like some poser
95% of their fan base is a trailer park
later being
drug
like,
addict,
no, this is juggalos. Alright.
pothead.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
I-
they're the ones in the videos who are fucking up and getting arrested and shooting people. And they just happen to wear a Juggalo shirt, and they're like, "That motherfucker's a Juggalo. He must be shit."
Well, we got singled out because we wore Marilyn Manson clothes, and we get like they called the cops on us for buying burgers with pennies at McDonald's.
Yeah,
they
gazebo.
fucking did because
The
we were
gazebo.
our
The gazebo.
gospel.
We always got kicked out of the gazebo.
We got kicked out.
Although,
me
admittedly,
and Josh used to hang out. At,
I did kick a few of the little posts out because they pissed me off.
Yeah, you're an asshole. So me and Josh used to hang out in a group over at our strip mall that we have here, and they have a gazebo out there, and you would see like 12 to 20 of us just hang out in this gazebo area,
Smoking,
like
being all
smoking cigarettes,
gothy.
talking shit for like hours on end. It lasted about 6 months before finally they got fed up, and the cops were like, "You guys need to move on, no loitering." And then Josh was like, "Fuck that!" He broke like two different fucking things, and he took them. He was like, "These motherfuckers are mine now." Souvenirs,
No,
bitches.
worse is when I stole the Cadillac emblem off that Cadillac that's parked.
I
and put it on my
remember that.
minivan. I stuck it on my minivan. Like, yeah, I got a Cadillac minivan.
Jesus
The only man who had that
Christ.
rode a minivan and didn't
I
have.
remember the guy in the Christmas tree pissed
Yeah.
on me. I had
Hey,
the
How
Christmas tree out.
rapist can
Hey,
you get?
Kevin.
How child rapist can you
This
get? You are a
is
heavy
how
metal
our
person driving a
podcasts
minivan
normally
and
go.
no
This
kids.
is about how our podcast goes too, man.
It's just
What I can
complete
afford.
chaos.
Get in the
That's all right.
van. No.
It's still, if it still sounds rational to me, then I'm sure the listener can enjoy it too.
You gotta give them fun
I
stories.
can hear everything being said.
Those are some good days.
What was
So-
I gonna say? I was gonna try to say something about how everybody should just be happy and get along.
That sounds good.
As far as music
Yeah.
taste, like band, like with
I
the whole
thought
Juggalo thing, and like people have to associate themselves with something, but you don't. It's just I don't know. It's like I feel like when we're young, we're impressionable, and we assign ourselves to these bands and to like these labels and shit. And we're all kind of like you guys. I know are about my age. Like we're all around the same age, so we are all past that point to where that shit doesn't matter. And a lot of the juggalos I know, that shit doesn't matter anymore. And metalheads in general, punkers and metalheads in general.
It makes sense because we all had a specific genre we all listened to as kids.
That was a total guess.
And now our music style taste of it
I mean,
evolved.
yeah, like
we were all metalheads, kind of metal juggalo, alternative.
Yeah,
it was bands like Slipknot, Marilyn Manson, and ICP and stuff like this. That when we were kids, at least for our generation, these were the guys that were at least opening a lot of people's eyes to like alternative music or whatever. You know,
it made us. I started listening to more like Tech Nine. More music that was like
I like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
All bands.
I listen to way more rap now.
I'd rather listen to
a year ago,
than
like the Juggalo Challenge, I never listened to rap.
I even started listening
I
to
listen to
Eminem.
rap more than any other genre.
When ICP came out, I started listening to Eminem because they were always against it, and I liked Eminem.
Yeah, I mean,
Eminem is my favorite rapper, dude. I'm a super huge.
He makes white rappers look good. He's a good white
hate? Why not just see shit for what it is? And that's what's the bad thing about with Juggalos.
Well, that's why. If you see shit for what it is, it's shit.
Yeah, like I loved Dr. Dre's 2001.
You're cutting out.
It's also a joke, and it's also like just like this funny thing that people take way too seriously. So I just think that like with all music, like with all this metal shit and everything, people just take themselves too seriously a lot of times, and they should just see the shit for what it is and just enjoy the music or whatever.
Awesome music, badass lyrics, etc.
If you like it, true, it's like assholes. Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone has an asshole, but if you like it, this guy and you don't,
because my thing is definitely
you're happy.
Like we might not
know
agree.
that it's not all good.
Like, we might not agree and like the same bands, but I don't want to like with me and David here. Me and him will fucking joke with each other and talk shit to each other about he doesn't like something that I like, I don't like something he likes, and we'll make fun of it. But I don't want to make him feel bad for liking it. You know what I mean? Like,
damn you! Don't come over to my house with your shitty
exactly,
music.
Like,
what I will do, I won't do that. I won't make you feel bad about the music you like. But what I will do is I'll listen to music and I'll point out what pisses me off about the music. And so, like, when I hear new metal bands, this is like one of my big gripes with new metal bands. Talking about Slipknot, I know we still got a couple albums to go through, but talking about Slipknot and talking about earlier about how he bitches too much. Bands like Slipknot. And who else? 3 Days Grace is one to pick one for me.
Oh yeah, they suck.
3 Days Grace is
I haven't seen one of these.
Oh, these are 40-year-old men who are bitching about shit that happened when they were 16 years old.
Yeah, singing about my dad being at home.
Corey Taylor has 4 books. Well, he has 3 right now. He's about to come out with his 4th book, and it's all about how society sucks. Like his last book was literally like what the fuck happened to society.
How rich are you? How much money do you have? What kind of house do you have?
Society, man. It's terrible.
Buy my book.
Buy my book, please. Give me more money.
Yeah, I mean, he was his whole his last book that came. He's right now. He's writing a new one. It's coming out like in May or some shit or soon, whatever. But he came out with one 2 years ago. It was part of that Antennas from Hell thing. His whole that whole mixed album of Slipknot songs that was supposed to be like the best of album or whatever.
Yeah.
And he came out with a book about 6 months to a year after that. And it was all about how much society is just ruining the world and American society is terrible.
He is so
I mean, his opinion lacks everything that I care for.
You think a band like System of a Down.
This is Sean's book you're talking about?
No, this is Corey Taylor's
book.
Oh, Corey's book.
Corey Taylor is a best, what do they call it? New York's best writer,
bestseller.
Bestseller.
Nikki Sixx did a book. I could do one.
I mean, most.
He's got his own radio show too.
If I had millions of dollars from Slipknot fans buying my fucking T-shirt,
they got it so bad.
It's gonna get number
Their
one.
lives suck so bad. No,
That's the other thing. It's like if these guys don't have it bad anymore, why the fuck are they still singing about when they had it bad?
True.
And they're harboring all this energy from a time in their life where it was negative. But now things are positive. Like, maybe I don't know their life, and maybe they're still stressed out. But, you know what I mean? A lot of these bands, they
go through some shit.
They do this thing where they keep that idea of, sadness and like anger going to where people are gonna have to be
Angst.
mad and angry, yeah.
Of 4 years old.
When you should be like, because like I look at bands like Killswitch Engage was one band that like opened my eyes to it, where they were positive and they were like, it was like positive metal about coming out of your shit or whatever.
Most positive fucking metal you ever get.
Yeah, hardcore.
Hatebreed was like
happy metal.
that first time when you're like, hey motherfuckers, speak the fuck up. You guys are awesome. And they're just like, the entire time it's the heaviest shit. And people are like, it's Satan music. I'm like, everything they say in every song is a positive look on life.
It is.
It's literally like, look, you're better than this. Stand up for yourself. 'Cause, I mean, they're telling people to do stuff.
So influential as a band that actually you are a metal band that's on TV and on the radio, and you're still putting out this message of like anger and I'm the victim and blah blah blah. Like you should be putting out this message of like hope
better.
Yeah, but I mean that's why we have pop. I mean, you gotta roar, right?
Like I said, we all had
Stand
a
up
teen
and,
angst. That's the reason we listened to stuff when we were younger. We had a teen angst.
Which I mean, they have a couple of those angry songs because I'm in a band where we talk about songs where it's like, have you ever felt so alone and you want to die and bullshit, you know? But it's tongue-in-cheek. It's irony that like paints a picture for like the bigger picture is no, like that's not right.
When you have material though to write with, and then you don't. Like Subliminal Verses was, I don't have really any material, so
I'm gonna redo it.
I'm gonna sing about my ex-girlfriends and make call it Vermilion, but actually I hate that bitch.
So what is it now? Like, I'm middle aged. And I have middle aged problems.
15 years, like that was
I'm going.
That was 12 years ago when Vermilion came out. So when 2014 came out, what do you have to write about?
That's why this was called the Gray Chapter.
Yeah, he was going gray.
So let me tell you about it. So the Gray Chapter.
It's his Over the Hill album.
The Gray Chapter was a tribute album.
Yeah, that was
a tribute album to the bassist Paul Gray.
Yeah, obviously.
Number 5. He was number 5, and like I mean, it was an obvious the song Goodbye.
Goodbye is amazing.
The softest song on that album, and it's still heavy as fuck.
I love Custard.
But let's dive into.
We still got 2 more to get through.
Yeah, let's
dive into to me the worst Slipknot album.
This is right here. Got to be.
We'll fight against that one.
This where it's like, all right, my vocals suck. I'm gonna try to prove them. And like he said, the band said, well, fuck you. We're going to suck now. Now the band sucks, and now the vocals got better.
All right. So I would say this. I was listening. Well, I guess we'll start with me since So All Hope was gone. It was 2008. I was on my way. I just got out of basic training in AIT and stuff. And me and my wife were going up to Colorado. And the first time I heard All Hope Is Gone, the song. That was the first song I heard off the album because it was their first single. And it came on the radio and we were traveling. It was like 9 o'clock at night. And I hear this and I turned that shit. I was like, holy fuck, Slipknot's got a new album out. And that song's the heaviest song on there. But I mean, that shit was awesome. And then, like, it's really hit and miss. Like, I agree with Corey Taylor. Like, it's kind of like we put good songs here on this album, but it makes no sense. It doesn't have a flow to it like all the other albums. It doesn't fit. It really, like, there are good songs on there. There's, how many songs are on that?
Each one of their albums has about 14 or 15 songs.
I mean, close
to this one's
14,
got 12
15,
on it.
Somewhere around there. And, like, I would say, 75% of the album's good, but unfortunately, what hurt the album the most is what Corey Taylor said. It didn't have any kind of flow to it. It was kind of like,
I get bored. I get very bored.
But then you hear like a certain song that comes out. Like I like Psychosocial because it's catchy as fuck. You know.
I didn't like it.
I like the guitar on it.
I really cared for that song.
When I looked up this album and I was listening through their albums, I thought that this album was a compilation.
That's what it sounds like.
A compilation.
There's no rhyme or reason
It's not.
to anything.
It's not. It doesn't have a good flow to it.
No
That's
order.
the problem.
The
Like,
songs,
it's good songs on there. I like the song Snuff, even though it's a Stone Sour song. But it should have been a Stone Sour song. But it was a good song. You know, there were good songs on there, and it was like I thought when I actually listened to the whole album through, it felt more like these are songs that we didn't put on our other albums for reasons, and we just have them out. So let's put them on here now. And that's what happened. That's why it failed, I think, and that's probably why Corey Taylor.
I think what happens because, like, you imagine being in a band with 9 guys. I imagine a lot of these songs get written with just like 2 guys writing the song.
Yeah, well, I think this album
it's
itself,
just all
they were saying that
up. They don't know what
that Corey Taylor had to go. He had to. I think there's in this album he had to fly to California or wherever they were recording at to record his vocals in certain songs. and then he had to go
Right.
somewhere else to record somewhere else because
Throw me a
Joey
shot.
Jordison had already recorded all his drum parts. So this album was very separated when it came to the songs. They each recorded differently.
I remember
know,
Corey, he said something about that, about how they weren't like, he wasn't included in the
Yeah.
songwriting
I think
process.
that Paul
where-
Gray, I think that Paul and Sean and Jim Root got together and they did bass and guitar parts. And then Mick Thompson put his guitar parts
God,
in.
what is that?
And then Corey
Right,
Taylor
exactly.
flew in because he was so busy with Stone Sour. I mean, because he just came out with a Stone Sour album. I think
Yeah.
the one that came out before Gold and whatever.
They
House
got
of Gold,
big.
and
Stone
those
Sour did
terrible.
really good when they came out. Like they got big.
You know, the only
That
Stone
album
Sour
wasn't
song I
necessarily
ever
bad.
liked
Like I
was,
could see how a Slipknot fan would hate the Stone Sour stuff.
I don't hate
Yeah.
the Stone Sour. I like the first album, and I'm pretty
There's some
decent with the
Stone Sour
second album.
It's good.
It's
When
when he
Corey
came, his
Taylor
third
did
album
it-
is terrible. So,
If you forget that it's Slipknot, it's on its own. Stone Sour stands
but
on its own.
I mean, I don't want to listen to Nickelback or
They've been
Theory of
around
a Dead
since
Man.
'92.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
I did
I'm,
not know that.
it's a Theory of a Dead Man. It joined into the Seether group. That's what Stone Sour is. It's that
That's
Seether.
post new metal.
It's that
Post
the
new
Seether
metal.
stained kind of rock.
What-
You know, I like that stuff.
what
I like
Papa
But see,
Roach
what I always heard was he was
became-
like, well, Stone Sour was the band first.
No,
I
Stone
was
Sour
in
was
Stone
Corey's
Sour
band
first, and then I joined Slipknot. And
Yeah,
so
it
now we're
was
doing
Corey's
Stone
band
Sour
first.
again.
So what's House of Gold and Bones?
That was his last one.
That
It
was-
was a
yeah.
2-part album.
Yeah.
And it was okay. It had a few songs on
Yeah,
there. I
it's
was
got a
like,
couple
yeah,
songs.
okay,
They
whatever.
got way more albums than I thought they did.
Yeah, they have a
Whatever May
shitload.
and Audio Secrecy of 2 I like.
Audio
I
Secrecy
like
sucks so
Well, I like a few of
bad.
the songs on Audio
It
Secrecy.
I
had
don't
a
remember
couple.
Audio
2
Secrecy.
out of all of them was okay. The rest of the album sucked. It was terrible. It was god awful.
That's why a lot of times when people refer to some of these Slipknot albums as Slipknot featuring Corey Taylor from
Yeah,
Stone
I
Sour,
know.
because really he was Stone Sour before he became Slipknot.
And he was. I mean, that was his band before
that was his
Slipknot.
band.
He joined.
Then he joined Slipknot because that's not he wasn't the original singer for
But
Slipknot.
Jim
I
Root
did
was
not
the original.
know any of that shit.
Yeah,
A
oh,
lot of
really?
people didn't know.
Well, see, Jim Root
Yeah.
was up until this last album was in the band with Stone Sour. He was the guitarist.
Yeah.
Up until like they're coming out with a new Stone Sour has a new album coming out in May, and Jim Root was like, "Fuck that, I'm going to write Slipknot stuff."
Really, they just announced, like he had said something last year. Clown Sean had said something last year in November, December or some shit. Said that he was that they were writing again, and then now yesterday they just announced that they're actually working.
That
on
shit
it.
got trolled as fuck though. So if one of those, what is the Metal Insider or whatever on Facebook came up on my Facebook or whatever, and they're like, yeah, Sean says these songs are gonna be awesome. We're already writing. Who knows? Like Stone Sour's doing their thing, but we're already writing for the next Slipknot album.
Yeah.
And you go on there and read the comments. People are like, "Who the fuck cares? It's Slipknot." I mean, like I'm like, damn. People are
Oh,
like,
damn.
"Who the fuck likes
That's
Slipknot
how the
anymore?"
Juggalos are, man. Juggalos can't
Yeah.
get a fucking head with anybody.
I find it
because
funny, like,
every
people
time
like
they
that.
announce something, everybody starts shitting on it.
Yeah.
Troll so badly. I'm like,
I mean, it's funny.
damn.
Everyone complains like, "Well, Slipknot sounds like Stone Sour now." Now, when the band Slipknot's trying to do something to make it Slipknot again, everyone's like, "Oh, you guys suck." I'm like, really?
Yeah,
Give
seriously.
the fuckers a chance. There's more than one person in the band who writes music.
What are you looking for?
Oh, he has it. Okay.
I mean, hey.
You should
I
be a
remember
little.
half the songs on here because, like I said, I mean, it was to me. This is the. I mean, I like this more than Subliminal Verses mainly because I think that it was heavier. When it comes to heaviness as an album, I think this was heavier. It wasn't as placed as Subliminal Verses though, but the riffs were heavier. I thought.
Jeez, Travis.
You okay, man?
They fired Jim Root from Stone Sour, but he still plays with Slipknot.
Right.
He
Right.
can't. Corey Taylor isn't in charge of Slipknot.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's just
So he can't say
if
shit
he
about
fired him from his band,
Can't
and he
say
has
shit.
to
They're
go
so
play with.
dramatic, dude. This whole band has got a history of drama and underlying
Yeah,
like
seriously,
bullshit.
they got
between them.
problems.
That's
Look,
what happens when you
George
get nine-
Harrison claims
Look,
I
bro,
don't know why they
I
kicked
was
me
in a,
out.
I was in a
Still.
two-piece.
I
He
don't know.
still
I don't-
doesn't know.
it's like, I don't know why they kicked me out.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with it.
But his band Gimmicks is amazing.
Me, drummer, or me playing drums and the guitar player, and that was hard with 2 people. 9 people, I couldn't fucking imagine.
Oh man, can you imagine
And they've
drama
done it for
tour,
almost 10 years. I mean, for
riding in a
20
fucking
years
tour
or
bus
whatever.
with that many guys, and all of them are doing drugs and cocaine, crack, everything you can think of, and they're
Which is
pissing
what
each other.
Iowa was created because
Yeah.
they were doing all that shit. And they were like having a shitty time, and they're like, like, fuck it, let's just do something
Korn
heavy
fell
and dark.
apart with only, 5 people?
Yeah.
And these guys got fucking 9.
But then you're like,
It's surprising they lasted this long.
see,
and only
this
lost
is how bad my
2
comments
people.
are. This man has to drink to what I'm saying. He's like, fuck it, I need
Travis
to drink
actually likes this album.
I like
To me,
it.
it's my least favorite out of all of them I heard. But here's my thing: is
In between.
this
It's
is
boring to
just
me.
it's
It does
boring, and there's nothing on here that I remember. I can't remember anything once
Yeah,
it's
you don't even
over.
remember the lyrics.
Psychosocial, dude. Psychosocial is the one good pull
Yeah.
for this album.
And it's-
Like I just
You
remember
haven't
there's
heard
one
Dead
song.
Memories on the radio.
There's
like,
one
Butcher's
song.
Hook. Butcher's Hook. I listened to it.
Like, dude, there's
I
one
hate
song
that
on
song.
here that the music sounds like a Cradle of Filth song,
like
with like sweet fucking like the blast
Gematria
beat
is a
drums.
great song.
Oh no, that's what you're talking. That's the title track. That's what I was going to talk about earlier.
Okay.
Like
The All Hope Is Gone. The title
All Hope Is
track
Gone.
is a
Gematria though is about American society of being ruined by the government, and it's fucking heavy though. And
But
I mean
the-
that's the beginning of that's the start of it. And that's pretty much what you don't remember because everything else is just kind of like eh. And then you want to go back and you're like, oh yeah, that was a good song. And then you get to Gahana, which was a freaking heavy ass song. And then you're like, okay, in between there, here's Snuff. And then you get to the last song, which is All Hope Is Gone, based off the album, and that's the best
They
song
got
out there.
Vermilion Part 2, Bloodborne mix. Don't you like that?
So
Hey, you remember
sure?
this song?
What I'm
You remember this song,
like, I was
guys?
reading
That's a
people were
bonus
talking
song.
shit on reviews about this album, but I thought they were just talking about the song. I didn't realize they were talking about the album. I thought they were talking about All Hope Is Gone, the song.
Yeah.
So I listened to it and I was like, what the fuck? And then I listened to the song and it was like, like you said, it's like blast beats and it's just this simple fucking like. You know the song Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how it's just like that's how
It's
this
a
song
simple
is.
song.
It's just like little notes like throughout the shit. And I'm like, these motherfuckers are 4 albums deep and they're just like writing a riff that's like got 5 notes in it. And you know what I mean? Like I'm really critiquing it as a guitar player. I'm like, this is garbage.
I think this
but
is
it's
stuff
like it's blast beat and it's like I don't know, it's just like it's kind of like a big fuck you. I feel like they're just constantly giving fuck yous.
They dialed it in. It's like they just they phoned it in.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
put
pretty much,
something out.
they're doing what you did. They Skyped it out.
They
Like, what
just
do you
had
think
to
of
put
this riff?
something
It's
out.
good. Let's go with it.
It seems like they just needed to put something out to make people remember. Hey, remember us? We're a band. Here,
Right, and
here's something.
I think this is a perfect album to lead up to their last one that came out.
Like,
Because,
this one sucks. Now this one's gonna be great.
well, no,
Did y'all ever hear the Psychosocial that was done with Justin Bieber?
Oh
Yes.
Y'all ever heard that?
Oh God, no! Hold on.
That's
I'm
a
gonna have
thing?
to.
we have to see.
It's
hear it now.
hilarious.
Hold on.
Basically, it's the whole song to Baby. Like, it's psychosocial, but it's baby. Like, it's hilarious.
It's scary how well it fits.
It's hilarious. Don't play it because then you'll get copyright.
Yeah, because check this out, y'all. Look, we got
You don't
popped.
right on it for
We
that.
got
Talking
popped.
bad about Katy Perry.
We're fucking talking about Katy Perry.
We're just talking about it.
Yeah,
We didn't even play the song.
yeah. I fucking
Somebody
disputed
sang it. It must have been in tune.
I think we play all the stuff we want on our show, but we just don't put it on YouTube.
That's the hard thing about our shows.
Because
Like,
it's the
if we
baby
play
song.
any music, like on our scripted show, dude, if I play about 10 to 15 seconds of a song, I won't get popped. But if it's like this show, I gotta remember where we were at, fucking playing the song, so I can chop some of it out, so we don't get
Yeah,
popped.
right. Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's crazy
Show
how that
later.
works.
Yeah, we're.
I remember when
step outside
podcasts
so I can
started,
hear
you could
this.
play whatever songs you wanted to on the damn
Cigarette break
podcast.
before we get the last
For real,
thing.
man. I should like doctor it up when I go to post it on Horophilia.
Just change the pitch, just like
Yeah,
slow it
that's
down
a
a
lot
little
of
bit.
You adjust the pitch so it's slower.
Hey,
So
I
you
did
can't-
that on our Bro Ups video with that Sarah McLachlan song. I slowed it down, and it didn't get popped, but it got popped as if it was a cover song. So we're still making money off of that video, but it's fucking
I put a
weird.
Sarah McLachlan song on our channel and it didn't get popped for copyright.
Well, this is because I played the exact same like chorus over throughout the entire video.
Yeah.
Like it's like a 4-minute video, and it's just over and over.
That had to be more scary than anything.
Oh man.
Yeah,
But
so-
this album to me is boring and forgettable.
Like I can remember the lyrics to almost all the
Hey, Travis.
first 2 albums.
Yo.
Pick up when I call you on my mobile, because I'm going outside.
All right, cool, man. We're about to smoke too. We're gonna take a smoke break, y'all, and we're gonna get on the last final album
Dave's gonna
of fucking. We're gonna go on the last album of.
Wow.
Nuts. We're back, y'all.
God damn it.
Here we are.
This album's boring. Next.
That's what we said when before you.
Can we go to their best thing since the second album?
Now this is funny because I only heard Devil and I didn't want to give this album a chance until like recently when he said,
Devil and I.
"Listen to this album, it's fucking great." I'm like, bullshit.
Okay.
And I listened to it.
Real quick now,
it
final
was fucking
thoughts on
amazing.
All Hope Is Gone.
It's
So
so
you said it. It's boring. It's
we're trying to move on. Next one.
Get on something.
How about
Find a
you,
good one.
Kevin? How about you, Kevin?
What? All hope is gone?
Yeah, final thoughts.
That sounds so epic.
It was an ultimate letdown, dude. It was not good. I liked Psychosocial. That was the only song off of it that I liked.
We all have opinions.
Everything else, like I just thought that I thought that it was just the one song they were talking about, but maybe I got influenced by other reviews, because I read reviews first, and then I went and listened to the album, and it doesn't stand up to like the stuff that I like. I like the first 2,
Exactly.
Yeah.
the first 3.
If this was somebody
And
else,
that's
two was
nothing like
fine.
those.
maybe if this was a Stone Sour album, maybe it'd been fine.
That was
It's
Subliminal
Slipknot.
Verses. We already went over that.
So
Subliminal
now
Stone
we're
Sour.
going to dive into their final album.
Point
No,
five.
they're actually recording now.
Yeah, not their final album, but their last
the
last
album.
one
their
we
newest.
finally listened to
Yeah.
after years.
This
It's
is.
been out for a while.
I mean, all right. I'm not gonna go first this time because
5, The
I'll
Great
go.
Chapter.
yeah, Point 5, the Great Chapter, which is actually a tribute to the fallen member.
of Paul.
Paul
Gray.
I remember hearing The
Okay.
Devil and I when it came out on the
That shit
radio.
was so
Yeah.
sick to me.
And honestly, I didn't really care for that song. When
See, I
first
liked
heard
it, but I thought I didn't want to give him a chance
I
because
liked
of the
it a
previous
lot,
album.
like-
I didn't want
Yeah,
to give him a chance.
I
That shit
didn't
was
really
heavy.
think I'm gonna buy this.
No.
Based on this song, no. Not at all.
The first song I heard was the negative one, and
That's a cool song.
that was the song that you want to hear to
Which one
promote
was
this
the negative
album.
one?
The negative one, it's later in the album,
It's
right?
still very
Yeah, it's like one
So,
of the last
Satanic
songs
album.
on here.
It was the first song they released, and what they said was Corey Taylor said, "We did this as a gift to our fans," right? Basically, because it is
Because we shit all over his last 2
yeah,
albums.
pretty much. He goes, I mean, that's what he said. He said that the negative one was a gift for y'all, the maggots out there, and this song goes heavy as fuck.
And it's very
I
satanic.
mean,
it's like satanic.
Heavy
They're literally
as
talking about the devil.
Fuck, I mean, it was just no. I mean, it's not about the devil. It's about all those fucking people out there saying negative shit about like us.
But it can be construed as being about the devil.
It
He's
can
talking
be
about
construed
the
by the
Lord of
words.
Lies.
Right.
The whole chorus sits there. and
This
talks
whole
about-
album, though, is a
describes-
fight between 2 things. One, it was a tribute to Paul Gray,
Yep.
and 2, it was a fuck you to the music, to the production companies and stuff. It is saying, we're fucking better than this. You guys had our last 2 albums, basically. Fuck you guys, we're gonna do it our way. And I think
We lost them.
Well, he's
So-
back at his computer. That's why he has
yeah.
to
So this, I mean, the negative one though, man, that was the first song I heard, and I was just like, oh, I have to buy this fucking album now, because that one song was Slipknot all the way. It was their first song that came out. It was based off the first album. It felt like. I mean, it was all over again. You're pulling in the Slipknot self-titled, and then I heard The Devil and I, which I was like, that's a really cool song. That kind of worked really well. It
You know
had a
what's
good
weird?
flow to it.
Now, when you listen to Devil Like compared to the rest of it, that one sounds more like a Stone Sour song than the rest of the album.
Mhm.
Right.
It's the
But
softest
it's
song.
still heavy though.
It's but it's
And
got
it's
that
not-
Stone. His Stone Sour voice does show up in this album, but it's actually better now. It's more like Vermilion style.
He's worked it out. It's very well tuned, and he does his original screams again.
Yeah.
Like his first album screams that you got from that first feeling you got when you heard Corey Taylor do his fucking, you know,
his rap style.
spit it
too.
out.
This one has more of his rap style.
I
to that.
mean, that whole album though, I mean, it's heavy as fuck. I mean, excuse me, Skeptic was Paul
Skeptic
Gray
is great.
is a fantastic album.
That
song.
feels like a complete tribute.
It was a
to
tribute.
Paul, man, with "The world will never meet a motherfucker like you."
I mean, that shit was hard as hell though.
Dude, like you feel the love
Yeah.
that they had for their fallen bandmate in that song, dude.
I mean, he was like that song Skeptic's one of my favorite ones just because for anybody out there that has that one motherfucker who they've lost in their life, whether it be by death or by friendship, it's never gonna be another person like you because you were fucking amazing. And that was one of their like heartfelt metal songs. And it was heavy.
That's a
It
metal
was
love
heavy.
song.
Yeah,
Their lightest song, they have
Yeah.
2 light songs on here to me, or really 3, but if you count The Devil and I, it's 3, but I don't really count The Devil and I because it was still pretty heavy. But like Goodbye, which starts off soft as fuck and then just ends in this heavy note of, we're saying our goodbyes to Paul. Like, that's what it was. I mean, that was like, we're saying, hey, man, you were loved, you're part of this band forever. And then, I mean, what was it? Kill Pop. Now, Kill Pop, a lot of people don't know, but Kill Pop was the song to say fuck you to the establishment. They were saying, basically, it was all about them saying, Kill Pop, the female that they were talking about, was the music industry. Like, that's how Corey Taylor described it. Like, all the lyrics in there, if you think about how the music industry has taken over and, they've controlled, like, a lot of things, that's the female portion of that song. And that's a light song though, but it's still I like how they did the drum beats, how they did like the sound of it where it sounds like it's like doom, gah. Like it's not an actual drum. It's just like digital drum beats. They meant it for that because it's supposed to be like some kind of showing of the control that and then they went into something heavy, and that's their lightest song on that whole album though. I mean, AOV Lek is a straight up I hate you like Leech, whatever.
Custer's pretty fucking brutal.
Custard is a fucking amazing song.
The chorus is
after
fucking badass.
after all the shit that we talked about this band tonight, like and like how much we've all like shown appreciation for them, but we've all talked a lot of shit. Like the thing is, like they did whatever they wanted to do the whole time. They always put out what they wanted to put out.
It's their band.
I
So
really respect
that's
that.
respectable. They never were compromised by like whatever we thought. And so they always put out what they wanted to, and that's 9 guys that did that together. Like that's really fucking crazy.
Well, that's 7 guys plus 2 guys that we need on the side for this last album.
Yeah.
Because they're like Joey and Paul. Paul wasn't there. I mean, we know Paul would have been.
Yeah.
But Joey, they're like, all right, we're gonna get this kid whose dad is extremely famous, by the way.
Yeah, Max Weinberg's son.
What?
Yeah.
Max Weinberg's son is playing on this album.
Max Weinberg and the Max Weinberg 7.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say.
But Jay Weinberg is the drummer.
So during that whole period of the,
Wow,
the
so his
transition,
dad was on Bad Out of Hell.
after that guy died, there was this period where they like hid who the other guys were that were playing.
love that
the
shit.
band. They like
I like
hid
that.
who
I
the
liked how they
2
built
new
that
members
up.
were. And there was like this period where they like, and they
That
wouldn't
guy has
even
that
like
tattoo of that band.
during one time the guy that was
from,
playing what was
that
it,
band?
bass? I guess
yeah.
it was the bassist that died. So the guy that was playing bass, he had to play backstage like for a lot of the shows, and he wasn't even on stage. And that was because he got injured or something. But he
He had a fallout.
No,
He did
what happened is he had
dehydrated.
dehydration.
Yeah, dehydration is what it was.
Yeah.
He's the bassist for what the fuck's that band called? Crocodile.
Yeah. And
Crocodile
Max
or something
Weinberg's
like that.
son plays for, was it Rise Against or Against Me?
Against me? I think it might be against me.
No.
Might be Against Me.
Yeah, it was against me. He got kicked out.
That's
Or no,
crazy.
he quit the band.
Or
something
against me and
because-
Slipknot.
The singer for Against Me went
Went trans.
transvestite, so he was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck you." He dipped the fuck out on it, and then she came up, or she came up, and was like, that guy's a douchebag.
That's crazy.
Shitter's son did it first.
Right.
I like you remember.
That was the guy left. Was the guy really in Against Me and he left?
He
because of that?
left. No,
Yeah.
he quit, or he quit or something because of something better opportunities. But the singer
I
was
know
like
the guy
so pissed
before
off
that
that he
is-
quit. The singer of Against Me was so pissed off that he quit that he was like, "Hey, that motherfucker doesn't like transvestites, and that's the reason why he quit." Or
Oh,
something.
so he played victim.
The singer's
or
a
whatever,
tranny.
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
It's a
There's a
female/male now, whatever.
Yeah, you didn't know that Against Me dude went trans?
I did not know that.
He got his ass beat in Mexico, man.
Oh,
wow, that's-
Or she got her ass
That's
beat in
sad.
Mexico. Like,
What was that? Dead or Alive? That he became a tranny.
you know what's talking about trans though? You know what's really
That's-
weird?
Against Me is all positive message music. They've always been like positive message music. So, despite all the bullshit, like whatever, like it's like that guy, that gal, whatever, like they're still painting, they're painting a positive picture for people still, you know what I mean? So that's,
Totally.
I can't shit on it.
I got nothing against it. I just thought it was funny.
cares?
That's the story that you get.
Well, yeah, but like, if the guy was the guy really, I have to look that up. Was the guy playing for Slipknot and Against Me at the same time?
No,
'Cause-
I think
he
he
quit
quit.
Against Me, and then he didn't have a job, I think, at that time. And then Slipknot's like, dude, you're a fucking awesome drummer. And he's like, I've been listening to you guys since I was 5. So he was like, yes, please.
He's gonna wear a mask. Nobody's
Yeah,
gonna
I mean, and I like how they had.
Here's the question: is he wearing Joey's mask?
No. So what they did was they have the same mask, right? And I thought it was like a brother thing. Like that's how they were playing it out.
Uh-huh.
Like they were kind of like the twins of evil kind of thing. And I thought it was a cool idea until people started trying to find out who they were. I mean, that's like trying to find out who all the members of Ghost are.
is.
Yeah.
So it's like, good luck.
And they never play with the same people. They have all famous people and they keep their mouths shut. It's like a secret
Well, one of the
society.
guys came out finally,
Well, yeah.
like 2 days ago.
There's a couple
and was like,
people they
guy
found
played in Ghost, and everyone's like,
he just
prove
said
it.
he fired everybody.
I mean, because a lot of
I know Dave Grohl played with Ghost.
I've been
people
reading
think-
shit that they said that he fired every fucking body in the band.
And then got a whole new band, right? The bassist is a
But
female
no,
now,
when he does a show, he's out there alone. It's just him now. Like it's all a fucking joke.
They're supposed to be working on a new album this year.
Yeah.
Oh, it's supposed to come out in the summer or
I
something.
can't wait. This is
Grammy
great.
winning, man.
Fucking love Ghost.
Right? Like, that's heavy right there.
That
And then they're
is
like, hey,
amazing.
Megadeth won a
That's-
Grammy. And
that
they're like, that's because
album-
Megadeth
I
sold
tried, to
out.
listen, I tried to listen to it, and those guys like made me feel so guilty. Where they were like, I was like stocking the shelves at work and listening to Ghost, and they were like, "Oh Lord Satan," like all this shit. And I was like, well, maybe this isn't what I should be listening to
I
at
love
work.
Ghost, man.
You know what's
Awesome.
great about Ghost is that like they're almost a parody of that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
don't take it seriously. It's just-
Lucifer.
I mean, come
Except
on.
for the fact
Those
you
above-
can buy a dildo that's shaped in the shape of Papa. I mean, come on.
Like I would have never. But when I first heard about Ghost, I saw the picture of them before I heard them, and I thought they would sound like every fucking Scandinavian, Norwegian,
Yeah.
black metal band. But when I turned them on,
You
I
heard
was
Black
like,
Sabbath.
wow.
You know what I heard? I heard Scooby Doo.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
They
they
sound
are.
like Scooby Doo.
I heard,
awesome.
it sounded, to me, it sounded like, I was hoping that they were going to bust out with Don't Fear the Reaper or something.
Yeah, right. Like,
Well,
they
you
do
listen to
have a
Cersei.
Blue Oyster
It does
Cult
sound like
vibe.
It does.
Cersei does have a
Please.
Blue Oyster Cult sound to it.
It sounds
Yeah,
like,
that
look, I
guitar.
thought they were going to I was like, this band's going to be Blue Oyster Cult all
But
over.
this album, dude,
Yeah.
man, back to this garbage.
What?
What?
It's not garbage,
What?
but you know.
It's,
Dude, this
out.
album, I enjoyed the shit out of every bit of this.
Yeah.
This
why'd you
to
just call it
me,
garbage?
is like almost the true follow-up to Iowa.
Yeah.
It's,
That's
and this is
exactly how I
coming from
feel.
someone who was never attached to this band, someone who
Yeah.
wouldn't have. I'll call myself a Slipknot fan now, but
He grew into
from a week
got
ago to when these guys were around, I wasn't a Slipknot
You
fan.
adopted it.
And
We grew
you
up
know,
with it.
I'm glad you guys.
You merely
got-
adopted the
you know-
Slipknot.
You really adopted
We were
Slipknot.
born in
We need my Bane mask.
You were Marilyn. It's like I was born in the dark. You merely adopted it.
You are the
Get
adopted.
off of the cloud. The blood is lighter this time.
Sounds exactly like
My eyes are red and gold.
The picture froze. Look at his face. That's great.
This is not the way I pictured it.
Sounds exactly like it.
That's beautiful.
Oh man, I love that movie though so much.
Except that wasn't his voice.
I know.
But you know what?
Re-recorded.
My favorite song, which is the folky song on here. It's one of the early tracks.
Which one?
There's
It's
one.
very folky, very acoustic folk,
Well, see, I know there's
almost
one that
western.
I know there's one that reminds me more like Vermilion Part 2. It's really soft but dark.
Goodbye.
Is it 5? Track 5?
It's goodbye.
No, man.
That's Kill Pop. That's
Maybe
not
it is
folky.
goodbye. Maybe it is goodbye.
It starts off real soft, and then like towards the middle of it, it gets real heavy.
There's a
and
lot of
It softens
electronics
up like 2
towards the
seconds, and
end.
it gets really heavy.
Yeah, it might
That'd be
might
goodbye.
be that one, but one of my favorite songs on here is what is it?
I love AOB.
Be Prepared for Hell.
Hell yeah.
That shit is wild.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the weird shit like prosthetics off of the first album. Like, that's fucking cool.
To me, when I
Weird
first heard this
shit.
album, I really wasn't getting into it because it kind of sounded like, you know, Slipknot by numbers. But I had it in my car all week because it was the one that I wasn't familiar with. So I kept playing it.
It
Every
got
day I go to
better
work.
and
Oh my
better
God, yeah,
and better.
Jesus
And you were like,
Christ.
fuck, why didn't I like this when I first put it in? Like, I think they opened it up pretty well because XIV has a short video for it. Like the intro song in the first thing. And it has this awesome, like, short 2-minute video or whatever, how long, 5
You know,
seconds.
XIV is 14, right?
I'm going by the damn letters there, okay? I don't care if it's Roman numerals. So, 15.
Oh, the song?
Yeah, 15 that's on there.
That's
it has an awesome, sick video though. But then they open that first song that they.
Are you still with us, bro?
I'm here, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, your picture froze, and we were like wondering.
That was glorious.
You just sent us a video
It
of like this
froze
guy.
while he was doing the Bane thing, so it's like perfect.
There you go.
Oh, there's Bobby again.
What was that first
it.
song on there though? It was
Which one? The first song?
Sarcastrophe.
Sarcastrophe. That's a
Sarcastrophe
good song.
was
Yeah.
an awesome way to start this album out, and you're just like, fuck. And then AOV comes in after that, and you're like, ah, this keeps getting heavier. And then, you know, Devil Knight kind of slows it down, and you're like, I got it.
Then
It's a
Kill
cool song. It's catchy as fuck, though, and I like the beat. It's
I like
very,
how the beat changes on Kill Pop between the chorus and the.
And
the
yeah,
main
it goes
verse.
into Kill Pop, and Kill Pop, like I said, kind of slows your feel of the whole album down, but it's lyrically, it's very well done. And then it just goes into the next song was Goodbye after that one, right? Is
Oh.
after Kill? What's after Kill,
Kill
Pop?
Pop, Skeptic, then Lick.
Okay, Lek was like the anti-religion song. Like he even said Judas, like
Yeah, what was?
What did
Oh
he
my
say?
god,
Something-
I like that. I like the
Oh,
beginning of that song.
It says, I know now why Judas wept.
yeah, I know how Judas went. Like it just goes into like. I love that fucking song. I mean,
David,
Now,
I
is
love
it
your
just
energy,
me?
man.
Is it just me, or is if rain is what you want, is a reprise from the first song?
I did not notice.
It is.
that is a soft song too. I forgot about
I
that one.
swear to God.
Yeah, there's about
Where he's
30
like,
soft songs on it, but they're good.
The lyrics are like
He kind of screams
something
it, but
like
he
my
doesn't.
last breath. The only thing darker than my last, or something like that. The only
Lyrics are
thing
in there.
darker than.
But that wasn't that an extra track though? That wasn't part of the actual album.
It's the last.
No,
song.
it's the last
Oh,
one.
is it?
Last
The
song.
extra song.
Oh,
There's only
okay.
2
Yeah,
bonus
the-
tracks.
the-
Overriding the burden is
Oh, that
awesome.
is.
See, I didn't get that because I ordered this and they sent me the damn edited
The only
version.
thing deeper than my last breath.
You got the Walmart
The only thing
version.
I
darker
got
than
the
my
Amazon
last
Walmart
breath
version.
Yeah.
is panic static. I've become.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, he's there.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm still here. It's just like the internet dropped out.
But I
Getting
swear
like
to
a
God,
red-
it's got a reprise on the end of it. They
Yeah, we're
don't.
getting like
they
a
don't
red
repeat any of the
internet.
lyrics. It's the same music and melody.
Yeah.
And I like that because, you know, you're not going to catch that on the first time you hear it, but if you play it over and over and listen to it while you're going to work, I like albums that begin and end the same way because it feels like a continuous loop.
Yeah, like Pink Floyd would do, Mars Volta would do.
It's just
Green
Green
Day
Day did with the Mesmerize Hypnotize. They started with Soldier Side and
Soldier
ended with
Side.
Soldier Side.
I
Yeah.
like
I mean,
that.
That was the best way of doing 2 albums.
this album has like I would say a perfect flow to it.
It does. Because here's the thing, alright, this album takes the heaviness of Iowa, right? And
Brings in the flow of the first album.
the flow of the first album and the...
What worked on Subliminal Verse?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
what
What
worked
lyric-
on Subliminal
The lyrics
Verses.
of Subliminal Verse.
And
the lyrical.
it pretty much balances
I don't really
it
think
out.
it's-
I put it as the
Her
best.
Subliminal Verses.
I
They
put
didn't
it as
cuss
the
on
best.
Subliminal Verse.
It's not the.
Well, the cussing
I wouldn't.
wasn't
Say, it's not the best
necessary.
album
The cussing was mainly on the first
because there's
and
so
second
much
album.
good stuff
This one
prior.
too, he cusses
But
on that one. Like,
it is the
crazy.
best of what worked.
Yeah, it's
in
almost
every
like they had to take
I love
those
Cuss.
two
Oh my God,
albums,
dude.
Subliminal 3 and All Hope Is Gone. It's almost like they had to take those two albums to figure out how to do what they were doing on those two albums
Right.
with the Iowa and
It
Slipknot
was
sound.
perfectly produced. I thought every
Yeah.
song. It is. So I think a lot of things for me when I listen to a CD isn't based off of which song's best, but the flow of the CD from song
Yeah.
1 to the last song.
If you
Not-
could listen to the whole album without
Without
getting
skipping,
bored.
Right, or
Yeah.
or like that song. Like some albums have every song's good, but the problem with it is that song shouldn't have been that number. Because I listen to it, I don't skip around on my CDs. Usually I'll listen.
Because
to it
here's the
from one
thing
minute to
too,
the
like
next.
when it comes to All Hope Is Gone, right? You get a couple heavy songs, then you go to a real soft song, and it's like hitting a brick wall.
Yeah.
Right, and it's
Yeah.
like
You just
that's
go,
what I'm
like,
saying.
Okay,
You just skip,
Like-
skip.
That's the thing about All Hope Is Gone. though.
another
It was
band that had the
a
same
lot of
thing,
good songs,
the
but
End
they
of
were in
All
the wrong
Things to Come
places.
by Mudvayne. was
Yes,
like an
yeah,
album that,
that's
like,
an
followed
amazing
it. The End
album.
of All Things to Come
Oh,
was like an album that was like supposed to follow this badass album, and it couldn't live up to
Nope.
what. I mean, it was like this thing that
And then
they
he
thought was
decided
going to
to
be
do Hell
awesome.
Yeah, which was Hell No.
But like that's like it's the same situation as where they put everything into like making something better, but it didn't come out how they wanted it to, and it got misinterpreted.
And
And
they wiped off the face paint.
The only thing that worked on that was it was in Ghost Ship. That made Ghost Ship so awesome.
But you know,
That's like listening to a Flaw album.
Five. Great chapter.
Who remembers Flaw?
I do.
Five,
Wow.
the great
I
chapter.
have all 3 of their albums,
Like-
plus the album that
Well,
he
let's
came out with.
let's
after.
give Kevin. What do you think about the Great Chapter, man? We've been rambling over here, talking over
it's the
you,
one
man.
it's the one that I've listened to the least. It's the one that I've listened to
It
the
should be
least.
the
So
one you
I'll
listen
say
to
that
the
straight up.
most.
Like I don't know much about this album.
Well, he's saying
But,
listen,
like-
listen to it.
Yeah.
What I've heard, it's the same as like it's all the same. Like Slipknot as a whole is like this misrepresented band, and they got all this internal struggle and stuff, like this internal like they're trying to like make this piece of art, and it's like they put an album out every 4 years, every 3 years. There's 3 year, 4 years at least in between every album they put out.
2008 to 2014.
The shortest
Yeah.
one was
6 years.
was 99 to 2001
That
was 2
was-
years. That
that
was the
was-
shortest period.
4 years
And
after
so they're
Paul
trying to
died.
make something really specific.
Yeah.
They're trying to specifically hit something.
I
It's,
think
it's
And like-
almost like they didn't know what was so successful with the first 2 albums. They were trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I think that if you
Yeah,
go in,
and the MTV thing that like, and then MTV dropped out by the time number 3 come around.
Yeah.
MTV dropped out, and MTV's not around and playing metal videos anymore. There's no more Fuse or anything.
Yeah.
And so who's playing your music videos? It's Vivo and YouTube and shit.
Yeah.
And so that's when Psychosocial came out. Was whenever YouTube was showing music videos.
the ball never worked.
That was the big thing with the psychosocial video.
You had that
That was
little
the only
nose.
thing they had going for it.
But so it's all marketing, and these guys are like all marketing ever since day one. Corey said it in interviews just in what I've read like in the past 3 days. It's like these guys are a parody of what bands are supposed to be, and so that's why they wear the masks, is because they hide their identity, and that's why
Like we don't know what they look like by now, though. Like, I think if you give this last album a full listen, like for a few days, like Zack was saying, like he listened to it over a week and fell straight into it. You know, it's one of those albums. Are you still there?
Yeah, he's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's one of those albums that, you know, like for me as a full-blown Slipknot fan, you know, I love this album from beginning to end. I mean, I thought it was an amazing album, and I think for people who aren't really huge Slipknot fans and only kind of getting into it, I think this album will be like, I need to really go back and look, because this album is fucking amazing. It's true metal, I think, right now of what they should be.
I think
They need to stay
overall,
this way,
if you can't appreciate them, it's like such a trashy saying, but like if you can't appreciate them at their worst, then you don't deserve them at their best.
Yeah.
So it's like if you can like
I've said some
Slipknot
good
for
things.
what it is, then you will love it for what it
favorites.
is.
Well, see, like
You
I
know
said,
what mean?
there's no reason that you might not want to listen to the bad stuff, but if we can still say, well, they did parts right, and you know, on its
I've heard
own,
it.
if you didn't take it compared to like the original albums, it's still good.
Yeah, I mean,
and there's
it's not
nothing
like
wrong.
We're
sitting on the other
Slipknot
side of
apologies.
corn where I
It's
can't, I will
basically
not
this
turn
whole
that
episode
album
we've
ever
just been
again.
apologizing for them, but they're good.
Sorry,
They're
Slipknot.
really good band. Like we don't have to apologize. They know what they're doing, and we just don't.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They're rich.
Yeah.
Well, they did something
obviously,
right. They made
yeah.
a shitload of money.
They make.
Well,
They are probably the. I saw them,
Roadrunner
like I
Records
said,
made a shitload of money.
They don't like, even if their music's bad, they give the best show. Like when I saw them live like 10 years ago, they were fucking amazing. I saw videos of them live nowadays, and they're still fucking amazing. They give
Yeah.
the most hardest, like they put their soul into their live shows.
Did you see that one video where Corey Taylor trips over some shit and he tries to sing and he trips
Yeah,
again?
he does that. I mean,
I was
you're
reading
talking to
earlier.
this
I was reading
motherfucker's like
earlier
that.
on Wikipedia.
You're talking about someone
They
who
were-
wants.
They were talking about
disrespected.
how there were Slipknot shows where like it was the first time they'd ever played this song, and
Oh,
there was
wow.
like they only played these songs like 3 times. or,
Wow,
like,
that would be a little rough.
you know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
that's what like I never heard of that from another band. Where like
Yeah, they usually
this is
practice
the-
it a lot.
this show was the time that they debuted this song, and like so to be at that show when they play that
Yeah,
song that
yeah.
one time.
You're
That's
like, I
kinda
was
crazy,
there,
man.
motherfucker.
What kind of asshole are you to like only play that song for like one crowd and not like everybody?
The kind of asshole that takes your motherfucking phone and breaks that shit in front of you. You need to
Yeah,
listen to
right.
me, motherfucker. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
So this is another story I wanted to tell about Slipknot since I'm on the show. We love pro wrestling on Fire Pit and stuff, and so Corey Taylor was at a pro wrestling show
I
like
saw
last
that.
year.
I saw that video.
Corey Taylor was in the crowd. Did you see this, guys?
I saw that. I did.
Yeah.
I don't know what they did.
And
Like, oh,
this
yeah.
guy's like this guy that is in WWE. He's like his name's Baron Corbin, and he's like this biker loser type asshole that like loves metal, and he's just like this hesher. He's a bully though. He's a bad guy metalhead.
Corey
And
Taylor.
so he gets into the shit with Corey Taylor in the crowd, and he's like, "Your band sucks, fuck you." And Corey, I don't know what he says, something along those lines. Corey steps up and slaps him in the face, and they have an altercation and shit.
You know, it's
But, I just thought it was great. It was like, you got
That's
your
his-
Slipknot in my
his story.
WWE, dude. Get it out of here.
That's kind of cool.
your dick's in my cereal. I need you to remove it.
Yeah.
When was the last time you seen ICP in a wrestling match and do that? That's
Oh
kinda
my
great, too.
god! No,
Yeah.
I mean,
The
that
oddities.
was okay. This is how much of a juggalo I don't claim. I didn't know who ICP was because I thought they were wrestlers. Okay, I saw them come out on WCW for the first time and didn't even know they were rappers.
Wow,
I
yeah.
thought they were
I
wrestlers because they were
remember when they-
dressed up as clowns and they were
Who's
goofy.
clowns?
I thought they were just characters that were wrestlers, and then I find out
Most
after
people
I meet
didn't
these
know that.
motherfuckers
It
that they're
totally
fucking
did.
like rappers, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, when they came out in WCW, I remember
I
that.
remember me and my buddy.
90% of people there didn't know who the hell they were and that
Right.
they were actually
I was
a
a
band.
fan. I was a wrestling fan when I was a kid.
was
It
right?
was WWF.
Yeah, WWF back then.
Yeah, not
No,
WCW, bro.
I first saw that they were on
The
WCW.
time you are talking about, they were probably in WCW.
They were
Yeah.
they were on the thing called the Freak Show, which came out with Jekyll
Oddities
and
in WWE.
Jekyll and
Oddities.
Hyde and like some other guy that's big doofy looking dude from the Goonies looking guy, and some chick.
They would
named
rip up
Luna.
the carpet
Luna was on there.
dolls.
See, I remember that shit.
The
Freak
oddities.
Show.
The Oddities.
Yeah, and they came out to with the
Da dum diddy dum.
yeah that
Yeah.
song.
Some
And I have that shit. But when I first saw them though, they were a
People
tag
don't
team.
like these oddities.
It was just Violent J and
Shaggy Two
Shaggy
Shaggy.
Two Dope.
It's late. And Shaggy Two Dope. It was just them. But they came out in like hockey, big ass like football, hockey jerseys with their fucking Juggalo numbers on and whatever. Me and my buddy Travis, we were like in 9th or 10th grade, I think.
Travis Betts.
Yeah.
Oh, the other Travis.
My
the
my other friend Travis. Me and him came
Whose
up.
birthday is
we
also in February.
Yeah, we went trick or treating or whatever, dressed up. We painted our faces as Juggalos, but we went as the wrestlers. I didn't even know they were singers. Okay, we went as the wrestlers because I was a fan.
You trick or treated as ICP as a wrestler.
That's
As the
great.
wrestlers.
Imagine Juggalos walking on stage. He's like, hi.
I mean, I had my dad paint my face and everything.
Holy
Guess
shit.
what? I was the fat guy, so I was, I was Violent J. My buddy Travis, he was a small
Shaggy
little
Two Dope.
crackhead looking dude. He was Shaggy Two Dope, and we went trick or treating as the motherfucking wrestlers because that's who we were. We were fans of the wrestling in high school. You know, that was.
That's a great way to
That was
trick or
like
treat.
15 years, like
you trick or
17
treat
years
on Military
ago.
Street.
I don't care who you are.
Military
That's how
Street.
much I'm not a Juggalo, because I didn't even know they were
Damn.
rappers until I met Travis, and that was like 2003, 2004.
I remember it was so cool. We saw it in the video game. Remember you had that wrestling game?
Yeah,
And
the
like, shit,
backyard wrestling
Backyard wrestling.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, ICP's in it.
Right?
Yes.
They were
That was the
wrestlers
only reason
before
you
they were
got it.
singers.
Yeah,
it
that was the
was.
only reason I bought it was so I could play as ICP.
You play as ICP.
Hey, that's the only reason I bought it too.
All right. So let's get the ratings, because I need to get going.
Alright, okay, so, Kevin, what will you rate out of a scale from 1 to 10? What do you rate their full discography?
Okay, so like with my top 5 out of the 5, do I do a top
Yeah,
5
you
or
can do
do I
that way
rate
too.
each album like 1 out of 10?
Yeah,
I
However
give
you
the
want.
first album out of 1 out of 10. I give the first album like a 8, dude. I give it like a 8.5, and then Iowa, I give it an 8, and then Subliminal Verses, I give it like a 6.5, 7. I give it like a 6.5 or 7. The one after that was the
All hope is
All
gone.
is gone.
all hope is lost. Like what a fucking tragic name for that album.
That sums up perfectly.
Jesus, like
It doesn't need a rating.
I listened
It
to it
says
and I was
itself.
like, I don't know. So I'll give that one a 5 because I'm not gonna be an asshole. I'll give it 5.
Average.
And then their latest one, from what I heard of it, I don't know enough about it. I'll give it a 6 because I'll be gracious. But that's the one that I didn't get into. But like my early childhood,
Give it
I
3
give those
listens.
8.5s and
Change
8s.
your life.
That's the shit that I know about. Like the Slipknot early that was my shit. And so I appreciate them for what they did. I just wish they wouldn't be assholes and stuff like this. Like all the drama I found out about in the past 3 days about like the band. I wish these guys wouldn't be so
Corey
shitty
Taylor.
to each other and like could just like find a way to make good art if that's what they really want to do, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so Slipknot's a cool band. They just like they're misunderstood for sure.
Definitely.
That's my overall rating.
That kid who wears all black and sits in the corner. At school and cries.
So fat kid that wears all black and sits in the corner, what do you rate?
Yeah, that's
With a
not
fedora.
me.
Oh, yeah, with the fedora, what do you rate their
Okay.
discography, bro?
Alright, so I was my favorite. You know, I give that, like, I'd
So
give it a 9.
your list is probably boom, 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 boom.
It's more like,
Just
that-
real quick,
Slipknot
I give
Verses would be
Nate,
dead
I
last
give
for
Nate
him.
Feed Kill Repeat
yeah,
10.
Subliminal Verses is last.
Yeah,
Feed Kill
really did.
Repeat was a 10.
So,
That's
Okay.
best.
Which one?
That's second
Make,
best.
feed, kill, repeat is a 10.
Oh yeah,
Fourth,
I heard that
fifth.
shit is
That's-
fucking bad.
That's
I
kind of
remember,
how I
I
feel
remember
like
hearing
we're
it.
looking
What's
into
the
Yeah,
part
that's
of one of the
pretty much
songs
how
I
it
happened to
That's
catch
how
on the
I
internet?
feel.
It is. We gotta check it out because it is a badass.
like,
I'm gonna have
I
to
came
fucking
in
check it
it's
out.
to
raw.
Slipknot.
It is seriously raw, but it's like it is
I
Slipknot.
don't count that. I mean, I like it. It's funky. It's cool. It has its thing. But
I mean,
you know,
come on, like
we're
it's
going
metal
off,
jazz.
We're going off the base 5, though.
We love bluegrass
All
metal.
right, we're
That
going
shit's
off the main
badass
5.
too. That bluegrass metal.
I want to go get my favorite.
We're, okay, so we're going off the main 5 though. So I mean, I was it's 9, 9 out of 10 to me. You know, it's their heaviest to me. It's one of my favorites. And then I would go. It's a tie between their newest album and the original, the self-titled. It's really a tie because. I mean, I love their self-titled album, but the newest album was so much like that album. Like, so much. And like I said before, it is the best of everything they've done. Like everything, the
I do
guitars,
have to agree
singing,
with that. It's the best
lyrically.
of all they've
It is
done
the best
put
put together album they've had since their first album. And I'd give those both a 9 also. I mean, I can't say anything bad about those 3 albums. I mean, they're, like I said, the newest one was fucking amazing to me. And then, I mean, then we're going to go with All Hope Is Gone. I liked it. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. But that's because I think that the placement of their songs was wrong. Was really bad. Like, if they were placed differently, I think
because
that
you hit a brick wall when you get to the
right,
soft
and
ones.
if the songs were, not all the songs are terrible or anything, and I think a lot of the songs were good, and they had more potential than anything. But the problem was it was overproduced, and they placed the song. It was the song placement. Like, you get to one song and it kind of just said it kind of felt like that Slipknot was on skip, or on a shuffle. Like, that whole album feels like a shuffled album. Like, you couldn't have it. If you probably put it on shuffle, you'd probably get a better flow of that album. I mean, and then Subliminal Verses, to me, just because of the vocals. I mean, Corey Taylor's voice ruined that album for me. Like, if he did what he did on All Hope Is Gone with that album, I think it would have been a lot better vocally. I mean, his raspy, like, screams thing and his nose, his Stone Sour. I'd give it an 8 for Stone Sour, but I'd give it a 5 for Slipknot. I mean, that's because it's a Slipknot band. Just the name itself gives it a 5. I can't go below a 5 with Slipknot. I'm that big of a fan. Their live albums are fucking 10s. I mean...
That's
Into the
not
9 was amazing.
They can't go below a 5 because they're too good.
I can't go below a 5 with this. I mean, I
But
want...
you shouldn't go below a 9 because there's 9 members.
Shut up!
He's 5, and I'm 5, and he's 5. That means Travis is 666, so...
Pounds.
Alright, so what do you got, Zach?
I just got it.
As a whole, the entire discography.
Oh, yeah.
On the whole, it feels good.
8.
Yeah.
I give it a whole album as a whole it's 8, but...
If you take out these two, you got a good.
You got a good 9, I would say.
Yeah, but you can't take out those...
No, I'm not taking them out, but I would say at least an 8, an 8.5 to me, because self-titled Iowa. Going back and listening to those fucking hyped
Nostalgia.
me. Exactly, it hyped me so much this week. Was like, yeah, I remember this shit. Fuck yeah!
You guys remember, like,
Fuck high school.
these were the bands that, like, showed us what heavy metal was, and then we found out about, like, death metal after that.
Yeah.
Except for...
Know your roots,
Josh.
man.
Josh is old.
This is your metal starter kit.
It's a gateway, man.
Slipknot, Korn, and Deftones.
This
That's
is like,
the
I'm gonna
start.
wear black, paint my fingernails, put black lipstick on, eyeliner.
And Marilyn Manson, you gotta have that.
Gotta have Marilyn Manson for the angsty, I hate everything, fuck you all. Then
You guys realize we're all from that generation. All these kids now they're doing this throwback to that, where it's like now there's kids that are into Korn.
yeah.
Today's kids are Hot Topic.
They're just on our shit.
To our
and like
FYE.
it's only been like 15 years. Like what the fuck, dude?
They little
It was
like
cool.
their
Kids in high
PlayStation
school
started
can't
out
be
with
nostalgic
Jim.
the shit that we were growing up with. Little bastards.
They're
they're
the
hipsters.
Good, man. Like
Their
it's
kids
good.
play PlayStation
I like
2
the way
Diamond
the music
Jims.
sounds. So if new metal comes back around, I'm all for it.
Oh,
Like,
hell yeah.
I'm telling you,
new
check
metal.
out
Limp
Suicide
Bizkit
Silence
comes out with a
album.
new
If
metal
you want
album.
new metal,
Hell yeah, we'll
if
be
you
all
want
over
new
that.
metal, if you want new
They-
metal, because
they-
Suicide
they-
Silence is all deathcore, right? Their first 3 or 4 albums, they're all deathcore, right? Their
damn.
newest album came out a week ago.
That's the
It's
first
a
one
straight
without
up-
the S on the side.
Straight up new metal album.
Wow.
It sounds like Deftones, Slipknot, and Korn got together and like, hey, let's make a big band and do
Who's
this.
that?
Suicide Silence new album.
Oh really?
Yeah, because they're like, yeah, we're gonna go softer. They literally have a song on there that sounds just like a Deftones song.
Yeah.
They have Korn. They have a few songs that have the bass like Korn does, and they, I mean, it's literally like if Korn, Deftones, and Slipknot got together, and were like, hey, let's do something.
I guess that kind of
that's
make
awesome.
the Queen of the Damned soundtrack your
Except for the
your
singing part.
Yes.
vampire kid fucking starter kit.
There you go.
Queen of the
It is
Damned
Queen of the
soundtrack
Damned,
dope, dude.
right?
That shit's fucking cool. And then, so what I was trying to tell you about earlier was like, there's a soundtrack. There was a show called The Masters of Horror, and it was like a TV series that they did where like different horror directors like made individual episodes of TV shows, like 30-minute episodes. And so for every episode, they had a theme song that was done by like a metal band, like System of a Down or Slipknot or Hatebreed or whoever it was. It was always like a different metal band.
Badass.
And so they have this album. They have this metal album called The Masters of Horror Soundtrack, and it's all tracks by these people. It's like Buckethead and like Surge Tankian and like all these guys. And so it's like this horror themed album that I really think you guys would enjoy if you can check it out. I'll send you a link to it. But I was trying to tell you about it earlier. It's really cool, dude. And like all the shows that are included with it like are really badass. It's like Tales from the Crypt, but they have metal bands do the theme songs for the episodes or whatever.
Yeah. That is fucking rad.
Alright, I say 8.5 on their entire discography. My favorites are pretty much just the same as David's.
Alright, so what do you got, Josh?
Lamar, I'm a huge fan.
Like the first two are my absolute favorites because it's gonna be. I like the first one more than anything because it's got more of that hip hop sound. His rapping style is, and because like I said, spit it out. It's fucking. I love that.
That's what it's all about.
I love that whole lyric, that whole verse in there on the spit it out.
We just gave this look
That it's just it's crazy. I purposely when I got this album, I studied the lyric book just so I can memorize how to sing it because when you hear it, you're like, what the fuck's he saying? But yeah, it's gonna be like definitely easy like 8.5 on the first two albums, 8.5 9s. Because Iowa and Self-Entitled is just fucking amazing. And when it came to Subliminal Verse, I mean, I liked it. His voice annoyed me. It really kind of grinded on me after, but I really did like it. It was very
Nails
dark.
on a chalkboard.
Yeah, I mean, some of the songs did kind of feel like nails on a chalkboard. You're like, what the hell is he doing? Because I didn't know about, when I first listened to this, I didn't know about Stone Sour. I didn't know he was actually, that he was actually in a previous band. He actually has his own band, and this was him bleeding into Slipknot. And then, of course, when they came out with All Hope Is Lost, yeah, like he said, it's fucking, he's not shitting. It is All Hope Is Lost.
I'm not watching this one.
It's
It's gonna take me 4 days to watch this video.
This seems longer than the corn video. It's only 5 hours.
Corn video was 2 hours. That's
Past Zach's bedtime. I gotta get up at 8 o'clock. I'm sleeping in.
So what you got, man?
And then the Gray Album. I was like, if I did it in numerical order, it's going to be Self-Entitled, Iowa, Gray Chapter.
We're dipping out as you go.
I'm going to
All
smoke
of it's
one
gone.
because I still got stuff I gotta grab. But yes,
Alright, Travis.
Babies.
All right, so my
You're the final. Give us that.
my little thing
Sad
here
story.
is I'm pretty much on board with everything you guys said. The first two albums to me are the best. They're the pinnacle. First album, I would give it an 8. Second album, I'd probably give it an 8.5. And then Subliminal 3, maybe a 7. Maybe a 7.
God, you're so high.
I mean, like I said, it's not as bad as, to me, it's not as bad as everyone says.
He likes it on the fact that not on we like.
You would, because
Slipknot.
I'm not
It's a
attached
7
to
now.
this band like you guys, this is the most I've ever listened
He's
to
never been a
Slipknot
big
in my
nerd.
life.
It hurt him too.
He's never been
And
he's not much of a new metal kind of person.
Yeah,
He never
and
was.
The last
It was
year
me.
he has been.
what is it?
He's
All
just the
Hope
one
is
you really has in
Lost,
like
or
10
all,
years.
all Hope is Gone is, I'm gonna have to give it,
Yeah, put that on.
I'm gonna have to give it a fucking 4, man. Just because I cannot get into it. I cannot get into
safe.
it. I get bored.
I mean, a four is like still kind of, if you can't get into it, like that's still kind of nice.
Yeah, 4 or 5 is fine for an average. It's an average album.
Yeah.
5
So
is-
like I'm saying, like is
For the
it,
name
is it
itself,
worse
it's
than
gotta be a
4?
5.
Like,
I mean,
All
honestly,
Yeah.
right, all right. The thing is I guess I would give it a 4 because it was sit-throughable.
It wasn't "See You on the Other Side." I mean,
yeah, it's
like-
"See You on the Other Side" by Korn is a definite
Root
fucking
Canal. This album.
yeah.
I can be the album of Root Canal.
So I mean, so yeah, that's a 4 because I could sit through it once and be like, eh.
you never go back to it.
Yeah, I'm probably never gonna go back to that. And then the one after that, Chapter 5. Chapter 5
It's a
is.
great album. Yeah.
I would give Chapter 5 maybe. Damn it, maybe a 7.5 to an 8.
Go with an 8.
Because it's as good as those first two, but with the more emotion behind it, with it all, everything just being dedicated to their fans, their style, their roots, and their fallen member, Paul Gray. You feel like it's like, you know what, we've been bullshitting for so many years. Let's fucking put something out that just people that we know they want to hear. Like Kevin said earlier. Kevin said earlier that they always just did what they wanted to do, but this is the first time it felt like, okay, we bullshitted a little bit. Let's just do something for everybody. Our buddy's dead. Let's do this for him. Let's do this for him. Let's do this for our fans. Let's do this for ourselves.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's like the wake the fuck up song from
Yeah.
Korn. They need to get over their shit and get their shit together.
and so it was a very easy listen.
Stop playing victim, and Korn was good about that. Where
Yeah.
Korn, at a certain point, Korn turned their lyrics away from being about being a victim and made their lyrics more into being about like overcoming, what's the word, like
They went wrong.
oppression.
Well, see,
Yeah,
the idea
That's
with
what,
Korn was
I mean, but that's really like they used to like
like
their
on
shit
drugs.
used to be about being bullied and being like
Yeah.
a bullied kid, and then they turned into like this more like positive message of like overcoming like being the weirdo or whatever. And that was like through like the fucking all the Christianity bullshit and like all that shit too. But they're like, well, we gotta be a band, so let's get along.
So David is ready to leave.
Go ahead and leave.
I want to say
No, you
goodbye.
gotta go.
Let's say goodbye to camera.
Bye, y'all. I gotta go.
Alright, Zach's gotta go. Oh, he said the word! Go! David's gotta go. We'll see you guys later. Me, Josh, and Kevin will finish this
I
off.
understand the show's got to end, but we're still gonna hang out. So I'm gonna put y'all on mobile and we're gonna hang out.
So we're leaving now, right? This is 3 hours in. We're gonna come back to this
Well,
video.
yeah.
It's like 6
we're
hours later.
So that's the core. I mean, that's the Slipknot retro, you guys. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. There's much more March Metal Madness to come.
There you go, big guy.
And 2 that I know we're gonna do.
Motherfucker, Curry!
The new Linkin Park song and a Kitty retrospective,
We gotta do
y'all.
some mindless self-indulgence soon too.
Be on the lookout for that. Yeah, how many albums do these guys have?
I know those are the two.
So
Probably a lot.
I think 4 or
So,
5.
We'll see you guys on the next Speaker Brains.